Hello and welcome to Build Up to Good Game as West Ham United against Chelsea. Kick-off from the London Stadium, an hour and 5 minutes away. The official lineups are out already. They're scrolling across the bottom of your screen. We'll get into it in just a second, but I am happy. I'm happy with what Lopetegui's done, and I have to be honest with you. I was already looking forward to today's game, to be honest with you, but there was an element of me looking forward to the team lineup, intrigued as to what Lopetegui was going to do. Now we know. My intrigue is turned into optimism and excitement for the game. So let's just say I had, 5 chunks of excitement and enthusiasm for the lineup. Those chunks of enthusiasm have switched over their energy into excitement and optimism for beating Chelsea. Oh, I hope we do them today. I've seen the teams. Obviously, we all have. Getting a little bit more confident. I've got a little bit of swagger about me that we're going to beat Chelsea this afternoon. Right then, let's get straight into the West Ham team. I'm riding solo today. Gonzo's at the match, so you're stuck with just me for the next half hour or something, and then we will have Mark with us later on in the build-up show, and he'll be doing the watch-along, and Nick will be joining him at some point early on in the first half. But thank you very much to everybody that's joined me in the live chat. Please do drop a like on the video by clicking the thumbs up and subscribing if you're new to the channel. The West Ham team today is Areola in goal with Anna Wan-Bissaka at right back. Konstantinos Mavropanos retains his place and partners Max Kilman. Emerson at left back. Then we've got Edson Alvarez and Guido Rodriguez in midfield with Mohamed Kudus on the right, we believe. Paqueta in the number 10 role and Somerville on the left with Jared Bowen as the striker. That's the West Ham team today. Just 1 second. There we go. That is the West Ham team. The bench, and then we'll jump back to the team. The bench for the Hammers is pretty much everybody else that's available. Fabianski, Creswell, Sufal, Todibo, Irving, Soler, Souček, Antonio, and Danny Ings. So the one player missing is Niklas Füllkrug. He's not made it with his injury, and Guilherme continues to be absent from the first team squad. But that is the West Ham team. And Ellie says they're pumped for the lineup, hoping Todibo will come on at half-time. Jay said no Todibo, but that's a lineup I wanted to see bar him. And then we've got Damien says Bowen's going to trouble them. Jake would have preferred a Soler. Lee says, I've just had one of them ponies come out clean as a whistle and required minimum wipage. It's a glorious omen. When I click on these comments, I don't know what they're going to say. I just click on comments and read them out. Wasn't expecting that, Lee. Thank you very much. Alan says, happy with the lineup. It's concerning that the best striker is a winger once again. Still no Guilherme. Don't think it's the end of the world. Rescue Timer is sat there with a pint of Iron Brew. What a choice. I love a little bit of the old orange liquid. Ralph says, good lineup, happy with that. In fact, I am buzzing. Rich is very happy as well. Everybody seems reasonably happy. A lot of people missing Todibo. A lot of people thinking Todibo should have been in there just like Nate is. Albin saying the same again. Where's Todibo? But it's a big improvement. Gary says it's a much better lineup. He reckons we're going to go winning now. Corner's happy. Dean saying, why do we spend a lot of money on Guilherme? He's not even on the bench. I'm quite patient with Guilherme. I like incredibly patient. I think when we signed him, I said, high hope, no expectations. That remains true. I would query as to why he's not playing for the under-21s if we're not going to have him in the first team squad, which is fine. But at least have him playing for the under-21s, because at the minute he's just getting no football, and that's the strange thing in regards to Guilherme. But I've got no issues with him not being on the bench today. Who would you take off it? Realistically, glancing at the West Ham bench again, which player would you remove to put Guilherme on there? Maybe Irving, but I think, I don't know, Creswell, I guess, because if you've got an injury at left back, as we've seen last week, Sufal comes on and Wan-Bissaka moves over. But I think, by and large, I'm not too concerned about the Guilherme thing. Callum saying Guilherme is essentially stayed and saying, trust me. Yeah, I think so. But at least, like I said, at least give him some under-21s minutes or something, just because we're only an injury away from Guilherme coming onto the bench. Well, Füllkrug as well, if he's fit. But we're 2 injuries away from Guilherme coming onto the bench. You need him to be match sharp. You need him to be an option. You don't want to have him there You can't bring him on because he's not played for the last month. So I think get him in on the 21s and let's see what you can do. Anyway, that's the West Ham team. Let's have a look and see what our opponents look like today. 1 or 2 changes from last week. So Sanchez remains in goal. Tosin comes into the team, the former Fulham centre-back. He comes in place of Disasi. So that means Fofana will move over to right-back. So Fofana right-back, Tosin next to Colwell in the middle, and Cucurella over at left-back. Caicedo comes back into the team. Sorry, he was in the team against Bournemouth. Fernandes comes back into the team in place of Vega. He partners Caicedo at the foot of midfield. Madueke on the right, Palmer number 10. Jadon Sancho gets his first start for Chelsea. He comes in on the left wing in place of Neto, and Nicholas Jackson retains his place up front. A quick look at the Chelsea bench. Jorgensen, their keeper. Badiashile is on there alongside Disasi. Vega, who I thought looked good against Bournemouth last week, as well as Dewsbury Hall. And then you've got Neto, Mudryk, João Felix, and Nkunku. That is your Chelsea team. And let me just click on the correct one. There we go. That's the West Ham and Chelsea team scrolling along the bench now. Right, now get your thoughts into the live chat. Could be about the West Ham team, the Chelsea team, any big hopes or worries you have. Not your score prediction. Keep that one out for now, but get everything else into the live chat. Bill is excited to see Somerville start. Bill's saying it'd be harsh on Irving since he's played well when we've seen him. So it wouldn't be right to say this boy cost 20 million. I agree, but it's more the reason I said Irving is because if you look at our bench briefly again, pick a player to get injured in the first 11. Central midfielder, well, Souček will come on. The number 10, it will still be Souček, but Soler can come on. My point is for Irving to come on, I'd imagine Souček and Soler are already on the pitch, and then Irving comes on. So that's why I just selected him. It wasn't really a serious discussion. There was a conversation, but I still stand by it. I think Creswell would be the one that I'd drop out, but after Creswell, it would possibly be Irving. If you wanted to do that. Callum saying, did we see a peach of an assist from Orford? I did, setting up Sawyer last night for the under-21s. Fantastic, quite deep inside our own half. Ball just over the top across the... To be fair, the defender gets his head on it, but because of the pass, it's a very weak header. It's not an header. He just doesn't... It's a difficult one for him to defend. Really good ball from him. Jamie says... Not moaning. If you're Todibo, you've turned down Juventus to be here. Mavropanos makes mistakes. You trust Lopetegui. I think the one thing I will say in regards to Guilherme and Todibo is that we've got Liverpool on Wednesday, so there is ample opportunity for Lopetegui to change the team, rotate the team during the week without really causing too much disruption to the starting 11. Jay says, big hopes for Somerville. Hope he grabs his chance, a bit like what Kudus did last season. Damien said, we haven't seen enough of Todibo to make that call. The thing is, what we have seen from Todibo, I've been more unimpressed than I have impressed. It's early days. I'm not bothered, by the way. I'm not saying that he looks rubbish. Well, I think he looks poor so far, but I'm not concerned about it. I personally would have started him this game because we practically committed to spending 40 million on him next summer. He's got to work. I think he'll start against Liverpool, though. Mancunian said Todibo must be awful in training. Jordan said the squads look quite even, which is quite impressive when you compare the spending of the two teams. Lewis says Wan-Bissaka's got to impose himself on Jadon Sancho. David's pleased. He's more optimistic now, where Cyber says fast start, please, and take our chances. Damien says rub your hands because we've got Kudus up against Cucurella. Lewis says, can't get the wingers space that we've been given in recent games. Hammer99 says, Alvarez can drop into centre-back. Paqueta drops in beside Rodriguez. Kudus and Somerville drift inside, allowing the full-backs to overlap. Looking forward to this lineup. Westwood Hammer says, cautiously confident. I like that phrase. Like our lineup, Jackson is pretty panted. See, I know I'm in the minority here, right? But I actually like Nicholas Jackson. I do. I think I get why people don't like him. Right, I get it. His finishing's not the best, but I do like him. I think he's quite good. In regards to The bench. Shamrock Dan says who's on the bench. I'll pop it on the screen. I won't read it out, Dan, but if you look at your screen now for the next minute or so, you'll see the West Ham bench there for you. CM says Mavropanos is a worry. Always nervous when he's playing. Jeff saying, where do we think Kudus? Well, I guess this is the question, isn't it? I've just assumed how we will line up. I think we'll see Somerville on the left. I think we'll see Kudus on the right. I think you'll see Paqueta central. Maybe not number 10, but like central. And then Jared Bowen striker. That's how I think we will play. And I feel quite confident that's how we'll play. But if anyone disagrees, put your thoughts into the live chat. And let's see what you're all saying. Lloyd said this is closest to the 11 I'd pick in that formation. 2 personal changes, and that would be spot on for me. But very happy with this. If the Beast was available, I would like to see a 5-3-2 with Füllkrug up front. I assume it's Füllkrug up front. Daniel is concerned regarding the pace on Chelsea's wings. Sancho and Madueke, they are quite nippy, but I'm okay. I'm okay. Mike said, great to see Somerville start. Would have liked Soler over Rodriguez, but still a great starting lineup. And Stevie's also a little bit concerned regarding Rodriguez. It's a crazy shout. He can't move. Steve says a better balance and a better goal threat. And Jacob's whacked to 10 to run us to win 3-1. Love that, Jacob. I absolutely love that. Right then. We've got a bet giveaway. I've already done it. I'm going to tell you what the bet is, and I'm going to tell you how to enter, and hopefully someone will win a little bit of money this afternoon. But before I do that, we'd just like to take a minute to point in the direction of this video's sponsors, which is Match Bingo. Match Bingo gives you a bingo card for the game. It's £2 per play. However, if you buy 3 cards, you will get 2 for free. So you get 5 for the price of 3. £6 in total. There you go. Quick maths here in Hammers Chat. But you get a bingo card, 15 things, and it's just like traditional bingo. First person to get the first line wins £25. First person to get 2 lines will win £50. And the first person to get the full house will win £100 cash. But there's a bonus pot of £100 as well. So anyone that gets a full house but was not first will get a share of that pot. So if there's 4 people, £25 each. So if you fancy adding a little bit of excitement, a little bit of something different to your game, please download the app. Links in the description below. However, it is a gambling app, so you need to be 18 years or over. Please do gamble responsible, and it's only available in the UK. But use the link in the description so they know you've come from Hammers Chat, please, so we can get credited with it from Match Bingo. Massive thank you to anybody who has interacted with the app so far. It's much appreciated, because brand deals are incredibly crucial to what we do here on Hammers Chat. So get downloaded and feel free to play. Some of the things are really easy, by the way. My card today, I need West Ham to take a kick-off, which we will do, either at the start of the game or half-time. I need West Ham to have a throw-in. I need Chelsea to have a goal kick. So I've got some easy things. Some trickier things as well. I always like it when I get West Ham to have a left-footed shot on target. Get in. Bowen, Kudus, Paqueta. Come on. Anyway, right. The bet. I've already done it. Now, usually, for those that... Robin, I put it up there for people that were asking for the bench. I'll change it back now. There you go. There's the starting 11. But the reason the bench was on the screen, because someone said, "Can I see the bench, please?" I was replying to Shamrock Dan, but I'm replying to you now, Robin. West Ham and Chelsea teams are now along the bottom of your screen as requested. Right then, the bet. So usually, for those that aren't aware, what we do is me and Gonzo put a bet together and we'll have a phrase that pays. There is no phrase that pays today. All you have to do is get involved in the live chat. Give us your thoughts on West Ham, on Chelsea, just something interactive. Any trolling, disqualified. So you need to be subscribed to Hammers Chat, this channel now. So make sure you're subscribed and you need to just interact. If you've already commented, you're already entered. The bet is the following. West Ham to win. Jackson and Bowen to have a shot on target. Cucurella and Fofana both to commit a foul. And Enzo Fernandez to have a shot. Does not have to hit the target. Just to have a shot. £100 cash. So if that bet wins, someone will win £100 cash. And as I said, to get involved, all you have to do is just put something into the live chat about the West Ham team. It could be about a West Ham player. It could be about the Chelsea lineup. Just give us your thoughts ahead of today's game and you are entered, just like Lewis has. Because he said Palmer is the only player to take from their team today. Got a good feeling. I'm having a look now. I'd possibly take Caldwell. I'm a fan of Caldwell. I like WHUCHE. Would he get ahead of Caduce Bowen? No, but I do like him. And I like Jackson as well. I would take Jackson. But like I said, I appreciate that not everybody is as keen on Nicholas Jackson as I am. Paul says he reckons there's going to be a few bookings today. Quite possible the referee is second. It's only 3 games in the Premier League, but he's the second highest average for cards per game, 6.1 yellow cards per game so far from the referee. Not the biggest name in the Premier League, the ref. Let me just grab his name for you. It is Barrett. Not a name I'm too familiar with, so that's why I had to go and have a little look. Ray's very happy. Michael says, I'm hoping to see more creativity. He's mentioned over on the Overland and Seaward podcast, which is on our Patreon, that I've been a little concerned. I've been concerned with how little we create. Yes, I agree. I agree with that one. I think need to see more opportunities from open play from us. I'm not happy with the lack of creativity so far. It is tricky games, but I still want to see more. I'm hoping that we've definitely got firepower in our team today, and we should have creativity. We've got little creativity with the team we've got out. We've got a bit of a problem somewhere. And Ellie says, was Palmer not an option a couple of transfer windows ago? Still standing inside. He was. We tried to. It's been confirmed by quite a lot of people, really. But we were in for him because it was going to be part of the deal with Paqueta joining Manchester City. Cole Palmer was going to join West Ham. Separate transactions. A little bit of the old PSR thing going on, I think. But A, the Paqueta thing hit a wall because of the betting allegations, and B, Chelsea came in for Cole Palmer and got him. So we were in for Cole Palmer, but I don't think it was anywhere near being complete. Lewis says, hopefully Lopetegui learned something about our lineup today. Finally got most of our players in their best positions. Frank saying, how many goals has Caduce scored this calendar year? I think it's 1 v Man City. It must be more than that. Let me have a... without taking too long, give me 1 second. I'm going to try and find that out for you. I know he's got a few assists. He's got the most assists for West Ham in 2024. Paqueta's only got 2 assists, and I think that was... one of them was against Bristol City in the FA Cup, I think. But... Caduce, come on, load up. Here we go. Caduce seasons 23-24. Let's have a quick gander and see if I can work it out quickly. Didn't score in the Europa League, so we'll bin that off. That's binned off. Maybe he's right, actually. He scored against Man City. Scored against Newcastle back at the end of March. And yeah, that's it too. Wow, I didn't realise that. So you're wrong. He scored 2. But you're not far wrong. He's only scored 2. So yeah, you're right. He's only scored 2 goals in 2024. Bit frustrating. Vinny, the lineup's on the screen. Look at the screen, Vinny. It's on the screen. Not right this second, but it's going along. We've got to promote ourselves, right? Once that bit's over and done with, the screen's there. Paul reckons Alvarez and Rodriguez will both get booked. Thinks it's going to be short odds. Depends on the bookies you use, I guess. Williams pleased to see Caduce over on the right-hand side, whereas Colin said it's going to be a tough game today, but could go either way, so hoping for a West Ham win, but most importantly, a better performance than last week. Barry wants to see Starboy unleashed today. Caduce is the best player on our team. Can't wait for our star to shine. I still think Bowen. I get it, by the way. I don't want to argue. It's one of those. I don't feel that strongly. Bowen is still the one for me. Off is saying, why is it taking 5 games to put this team on the pitch? He's excited. He's happy to see Somerville starting. Infinitely says, really like the starting lineup. Exactly what I wanted to see from the breakfast show we did this morning over on Patreon. Steve said, I'm expecting Somerville to do something today, plus Caduce to score an overdue goal. Well, I didn't think it was overdue until I went and had a look and seen he scored 2 goals in 2024. Jay saying, what a lineup, while Lawrence is saying Somerville could be special for us if he's a bit more direct. Don't cut back, hit them with pace. Up against Fofana as well. He's got to take advantage of that. I think Fofana's a bit I like him, by the way, but he's not a right back. He's a centre back out of position. So we've got to get at Fofana. Doesn't mind a foul. Doesn't mind a booking. I think that's Chelsea's weak point today. Their full backs. We've really got to consistently go at them throughout 90 minutes. Hammer29 says, I don't like the pairing of Rodriguez and Alvarez. Too slow and very defensive. He'd put Soler in there when his fitness is right. That might be the solution, though. I think it's fair to suggest Soler's fitness isn't quite up there. Kevin saying, when Füllkrug is fit, do you drop Antonio or Ings from the bench? That's a bloody good question, Kevin. I'm inclined to say keep them both on the bench. Vicky says, great start of the day. There's no West Ham manager in history. West Ham have lost their first 3 home league fixtures. Oh, well done, Vicky. That's the headline sorted tomorrow. First, Beefy says, happy that Mavropanos has retained his place. Todibo seems like he's got a high ceiling, but he looked Kerr-esque in his rations so far. I think that's fair, by the way. I agree with that. Putting Mavropanos' form to one side and just judging Todibo and his West Ham stint so far, I think Rash is a very fair thing to say. But I would have preferred to have seen Todibo from Mavropanos. Mancunian says 2 teams on paper should be fighting for top 4 and would be if they had decent managers. Tommy's excited for this lineup. Not sold on Rodriguez, but Soler looked rash last week. I think he looked a little bit iffy. Soler, which is not the end of the world. Peter, no, Gio's here. I am Gio. This is Gio. Gonzo's at the game, but I am not doing my ballet lesson. I'm right here. Everybody's saying Steiden's on TNT. I'll catch up with that another day, I suppose. I can't tune into that one right now. Someone said I'm worried because our record has been so good against Chelsea. That is very true. We've done really well at home, especially against Chelsea. Sam said partnership of Alvarez and Rodriguez will soon become an issue for us, in his opinion. Paul says in a few minutes, the scene of Todibo. He thought we'd re-signed Diop. And that's fair, by the way. I think that's a fair evaluation. Michael would have preferred to see Todibo. He thinks when Füllkrug's back, we've got to go 4-4-2. I was going to discuss a topic, but I forgot. But I'll tell you what I am going to do. Because everybody's feeling a bit fruity in the live chat, aren't they? Everybody's feeling it. Everybody's thinking we can win this game. So we're going to do a bonus bet. Right. We're going to go big. Who do we think is scoring for West Ham? Who do we think is getting booked in the game? Put that into the live chat, please, because we're going to do a second bet with some juicier odds. And, well, I want to know what you think of who's going to score and who's going to get booked, because that will be going into the bet. One of each thing. We're going to spice it up a little bit and see if we can... Right, we've got Somerville goal, says Doug. Nana, Brian, both saying Kudus. Paul saying Bowen's going to score. Rick says Bowen. Mike says Bowen. Alvarez and Rodriguez, the 2 players coming up to get booked here. Spa says Bowen. Chelmsford says, Peter says Paqueta and Alvarez are going to get booked. Bowen is going to score. Collingwood says Kudus score. Paqueta booking. Paqueta booked. Somerville goal. Kudus score. Caicedo booked. Somerville will score. Somerville will score. Bowen and Kudus, says Alex. The thing is, I think we're good for a couple of goals today. Pache says Alvarez is going to get booked. Jordan reckons Somerville goal and Cucurella booking. Steve says Kudus to score. Alvarez card. Paqueta, Alvarez, Kudus, Emerson, Kudus, Paqueta, Bowen scoring, Alvarez. I think that's maybe the popular ones, I think. Alvarez will get booked, says Brian. Yeah, right. Let's do that. Right, I'm gonna stick in a bit of Jared Bowen to score. And we're gonna stick in a bit of Edson Alvarez to get booked. And that'll do. That's £300, right? 300 quid. If this bet wins, someone wins 300 quid. Right, so we've got the £100 one. That's all right. There's 2 different ones. We've got the 100 quid one, the safer one. They both include West Ham to win, though. But this one, a bit juicier. So this bet lands, someone watching this will win £300. Again, you need to be subscribed and you just need to enter the same way. Just keep your comments coming in about West Ham Chelsea game. 4 things. West Ham to win. Cole Palmer to have 2 shots on target. Jared Bowen to score. Edson Alvarez to be booked. That's it. That's the bet. If that bet wins, someone's winning £300. So to enter, make sure you subscribe, drop a like on the video by clicking the thumbs up, and just interact with me in live chat because you are my content today. I don't have Gonzo to speak to. And Marco will be along in 10-15 minutes and I'll have a chin wag with him. Then I'll disappear and leave Mark with the live chat. Beefy said Emerson's going to score, get sent off. I want to see a good performance from him, Phil. I do want to see a good performance from Emerson. I feel like he's been a bit poor so far this season. So let's hopefully that with Somerville. And I get it. I've given my reasons as to why I think Emerson's struggling. It's not necessarily a dig at Emerson. It's more just tactical. It's because Kudus has been playing on the left, but I'm hoping because we've got a different profile on the left in Somerville, that will hopefully get Emerson going forward and getting involved in the final third. We've been missing that. Mandy says this is what every fan channel asks for. So let's see what the response is. It's not really, well, as I say, it's not what we asked for. Maybe Mandy watches everything but Hammer's chat, but this was not the team in our preview, so we'll see. Don't make stuff up, Mandy. No, Samuel, there's no phrase of pace. Just give us your opinion on the West Ham team or the Chelsea team. The reason being, because if we do a phrase of pace, it spams the chat. But normally at this point, me and Gonzo would discuss it. So when everyone's putting the phrase in, we're just chatting. So we don't need the live chat. But because I need the live chat today, Mark will need the live chat when he's on. We almost can't afford to have a phrase that pays because we need the comments. Yusuf thinks that Somerville could be key or Kudus, as I wouldn't be surprised if they switch side during the game, either one to score or get an assist. I don't think that's a wild shout there. Daniel says, Kudus goal, Manpanos red card. Red card? Bloody hell. David said he thinks Kilman will have a good performance. Instead of saying where's Gonzo, he's at the match. He's currently, I assume, at the minute, he's probably stumbling off the boats to make his way towards the London Stadium at this point. People asking for the lineup. It's on the screen. It's there. I can't just keep on reading the lineup out over and over. But the lineup for the West Ham and Chelsea team is there. It's on the screen. There. Rich said, if we get the ball to Somerville and Kudus, enough, we should be able to cause enough problems, all sorts of problems for Chelsea's fullbacks today. Laurie says this game could kickstart our season. Don't disagree with that. A win today would be good. Mikey says, hopefully with WHUCHE and Antonio being taken off at half-time, they've got a bit of a point to prove. So when they come on, they put themselves about. I think they're both excellent options to have off the bench. Darren reckons we're going to have Ings off the bench to score again. Thing is, if we need a goal, I'd like to see Ings come on, which is a huge improvement from where he was personally just a couple, 2-3 weeks ago. Jim says, Kudus in his preferred position excites me. I want to see a performance that sends Bowen to striker for a while. So do I, to be honest with you. Beaton says he'd like to start a lineup. If we can't get the midfield going, bring Solo on for Rodriguez and can switch to 4-3-3. Tommy says, Sancho and Wan-Bissaka will be the interesting one. Sancho's lack of pace should hopefully play into his hand. They'll know each other as well from Man United, won't they? So Wan-Bissaka will know Sancho's game inside out, really. So I'm looking forward to it, I guess. Wayne says decent at the back and front. Don't know why I worded it like that. How midfield links them together will be key in this game. Fred's off to the bookies, quick time. Kieran says, happy to finally see the front three we've been longing for. Feel like we will win this by a couple today as well. Brian saying Gonzo equals Gervinho. There is no Fraser Pay, but funny, Brian, funny. I like it. I know what you've been watching this morning. Oaf said he wouldn't see Ings given a chance at around 70 minutes. Antonio and Fuku's type of striker doesn't play well into Chelsea defence. Ings, I think it depends on the situation. I think if we're winning, I possibly wouldn't bring Danny Ings on. I think Antonio is more likely to be the better option to bring on if we are winning. If we're losing, then certainly Ings is probably the best candidate to bring on up front. So I think it all depends on how the game's going, what the score is, how the game feels to some extent. I think it's hard. I think you can plan some subs to some extent, but I think a lot of it, you've got to be adaptable. You have to go by what's happening on the pitch. There might be, for example, it's probability is that there will be one player today that doesn't have a good game. I don't know who, just probability, at least one player will not have a good game for West Ham. It's not the end of the world. It happens. It's normal. So that's going to be one substitution, but we don't know who that player is yet. It could be Somerville. It could be Paqueta. It could be Mavropanos. It could be Emerson. It could be Jared Bowen. We don't know. So I think with subs, I'm always a bit more flexible. We'll wait and see. Ryan says, nice to see a lineup with some pace in it. Sonny says we don't win when Gonzo goes to the game. I don't know what his record is. I'm not too bad, actually. Most of the games I've been to, we've done all right recently. So if this is true to form, we're going to not win today, but we will beat Ipswich and Man United in October. Clayton says we prefer to see Kudus as a striker. Bowen's assists are invaluable from the right, and with Somerville on the left, we should cut Chelsea to pieces. It might be that, though, Clayton. It could be. It's just my opinion. I think we will see Bowen as a striker. I assume you're thinking the same as me, though. You would just prefer to see something different. Hammer Crow says having Antonio on the bench to bully a tiring defence is a great weapon. Happy birthday to Stephen. It's Stephen's birthday today. And the last time match day fell on his birthday, we beat Manchester City 2-1 at the Etihad in 2015. Ooh, that was a good game. That Sacco and hang on a minute. I'm going to query that. Let me just. I don't mean to be picky, Stephen, but I seen the highlights of that win yesterday, and those highlights are usually put up on the anniversary. So are you sure that game wasn't on the 20th of September? I remember it. Victor Moses and Sacco scoring, but that. Let me Google it. It was on the 19th of September. Stephen, you telling porcupines here, Stephen. I've had a look. It happened on that game was on the 19th of September 2015. That wasn't. You tricking. You fibbing. Or someone's fibbing you. It's playing tricks on you, that game. I'm afraid, Stephen, the last time we played on your birthday, we did not win 2-1 away to Manchester City. That was someone else's birthday, not your one. I feel a bit bad. I feel like I've just pissed on these fireworks on his birthday. But it felt wrong. I had to go look. Freak says, already said many times, Antonio's been one of my favourites since we signed for him, but he's done. Don't want to see him on the pitch anymore. He's lost his pace, can't control, and Ings has more goals. Rawa says, hopefully Bowen and Kudus score their first chances. We need to be clinical. Paul says, lost 2 games I've attended. I've been there for the 0-0. Oh, last 2 games. 0-0 against Brighton, 1-0 against Bournemouth in the Cup a few weeks back. Some very dire match choice. It's football. You don't know, do you? I remember when we played Burnley at home, and I think it was under Pellegrini, and I lived in Aberdeen at the time, and the Friday night Gonzo phoned me, and I remember saying to go, I'd just finished work, and it was a quick turn. I only had like an hour to finish work, get showered and changed, and get going again. I remember being on the phone saying, I can't be arsed. It's going to be 0-0, and I can't be arsed. And we won 3-0, and it was a really pleasant game, actually. So football, you just never know what you're going to get. Rumbold said, you want your best player on the ball the most. Kudus would be wasted up front. He's a centre circle to goal driver. Infinitely saying one wrong on the opposition prediction. Tossing was wrong. Yeah, I got that one wrong. The worst thing is, when I did that opposition prediction, that was the one I was iffy about, whether it be Disasi starting a right back or Tossing going in and Fofana moving over. That was the one I was a bit unsure on. Annoyed. So it's 10 out of 11 for Chelsea, 10 out of 11 for Fulham. 10 out of 11 for Villa, I think. And Man City, I think I was 10 out of 11, or maybe 11 out of 11. I've done okay so far, but that hopefully Liverpool's not going to be full house, but hopefully Brentford, I can get full house next week in the opposition prediction. It's frustrating when I get 10 out of 11. Close yet so far. Steve says, got to be feeling Paqueta's going to be on it today, and we'll see a big performance. Did us something. I thought he looked all right against Fulham when he came on last week. The bar was low because we weren't too impressive, but when he came on, I thought he was getting on the ball, trying to make things happen. He wasn't excellent, but I thought he was better. And there's sort of one player you can make turn really good today. It would possibly be Paqueta, because if he turns up, Somerville, Bowen especially, Bowen is a striker. Bowen can read Paqueta, and Paqueta can read Bowen. When we first signed him, it felt like no one was on his wavelength, really. Paqueta was trying passes, and everybody was sort of like looking at him and saying, what are you doing? And there's still an element of that sometimes, but I do feel like Bowen is on the same wavelength as Paqueta and vice versa. The Conference League final being a prime example, but if Bowen makes the run, Paqueta will often A, spot it, but B, sometimes play him in as well. So I'm hoping for that little relationship today between Paqueta and Bowen. Paqueta assist, Bowen goal. There you go. That's happening. 1-0 West Ham. Goal, Bowen, assist, Paqueta. Westwood says, I'm our own statue. I do my best. Andy says, glad to see Lopetegui's learned from his mistakes from last week. I think this could be an entertaining one. With this team, we should be more creative. Mark said, you won't be able to pick Wissa. I will not. Cavallo, Fabio Cavallo will be the guy. I'm telling you. Did the Fantasy League video yesterday with Frankie. Cavallo's the one to keep your eye on this weekend and next weekend against us, unfortunately. Jeff says, West Ham never played on his birthday. I can only assume your birthday is in June or July, and you might have had a friendly, maybe. Maybe, depends where your birthday is. I'm assuming it's a June or July birthday. There's got to be a website for that, isn't there? There's got to be a website for when West Ham are played on certain days. And West Ham results, let's do this, on certain days. Well, I'm not going to be clicking on any of these websites. I want a specific date on specific dates. Let's try that. Let's see if we can get some. There's got to be a website out there that does this, hasn't there? In this day and age, someone's done it. I know they have. I don't know. I'm going to get off this. I could spend 10 minutes looking and not find it. There's got to be one. Jeff was born on Christmas Eve. We used to play around Christmas time. West Ham matches Christmas Eve. Christmas games used to be a thing, didn't it? So there was a Premier League match last year, wasn't there, on Christmas Eve? Was it Wolves Chelsea? Did Wolves play Chelsea on Christmas Eve last year? Yeah, I'm just looking at it now. Wolves Chelsea 1 p.m. last year. There's got to be. We've surely played on Christmas Eve before. I'm not having that we didn't. We've got to have done. Don't know. Maybe I'm making stuff up again, but I'm sure. Chelsea will draw first blood according to EKB, but I promise you we will win with a comeback. You'd get good odds on that one. Shamrock saying Babe Station's got those fixtures. I like it. I like humour like that. You're welcome round here, Dan, except when you're asking for who the subs are. Ultra says, good lineup apart from Mad Panos. I really wanted to see Todibo get a start. Wayne says, first time in years it feels like we aren't going all defensive against one of the big teams. No, I'm not. I'm not sure about that one because, listen, I was never David Moyes' biggest fan. That was obvious. However, when we were at home to Chelsea, Spurs, I think we had a go at those teams and away from home as well, actually. Not so much Man City or Man U, I'd include in that as well. Not so much Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal. I know we won against Arsenal, but it was, counter-attacking stuff, wasn't it? But I think against Chelsea, Tottenham, and Man United under David Moyes, generally, especially at home, I always felt we attacked them and had a go, and usually picked up some good results against those teams. So I disagree with you on that. I get your point. I disagree with you in regards to those 3 games. Hammerton says, please, Lopetegui's made the changes instead of pursuing with the original lineup. Clayton said, Kudus's stats are as good as Bones, if not better, as a goal scorer, as a centre forward or a right winger. Kudus's assist stats are crap. Thing is, he's made the most assists in 2024, Kudus, for us. I haven't checked in the last week or so. And obviously, Bowen got the assist against Man City, so maybe it's changed, but certainly it was all right. Stevie saying, I disagree, Chelsea is a big club. Do you mean Chelsea aren't a big club? Whenever people say big clubs, I just assume they're referring to the Greedy 6, the Sky Sports 6. That's what I assume they're referring to, personally. Could be wrong, but it's an assumption. Dean says just got home in time for the match, seeing the lineup, and that's the team been wanting to see all season. Saying that Tadibos looked a bit shaky because he would have been in for Mavropanos. Andy says, feeling lucky today. Let's go and smash them. A lot of hope pinned on Kudus getting his first goal of the season today. I hope so. It would be good. We could get it kick-started, and it feels a little bit like not one chance, but here we go. Thank you, Tim. We beat Tottenham Christmas Day, 1958, but his birthday was on Christmas Eve, to be fair. So we're going to need a Christmas Eve one, please. I can't remember what I was always saying now. In regards to January transfer window, yeah, I think we will. It came out pretty quickly. Was it? Yeah, was it? I can't remember if it was Lopetegui or one of these quotes from someone top source at the club things when it said that like we had a little bit of money, or what was it? We're pleased with what we've done, and we might do some business in January. I think we might do 1 or 2, but nothing too. I don't think it'll be a big signing in January. Might be a situational one. So, like, Fofana of Chelsea, for example, not the one playing today, the other one, go get someone like him, who's just not getting game time. Orange says, good lineup. No Souček slowing us up in the build or nervy right back plays. Hope we come away with something to start a run going forward, get into a little bit of form. Dean said, need to sort out that meetup as well, since he knows I'd live practically up the road. Yeah, I am. To be fair, the likelihood of any of the other 800 bar Dean is unlikely here, but I'm going to say it because there's definitely a couple of people that live in and around Stoke that watch this channel, and I know that because this is obscure, right? And I'm going to get judged for this, but I don't care. I like my music. And when I was at a Billy Ocean concert, stop it! I know some of you are laughing. And why are you laughing, Mark?
No, big fan of Billy Ocean. Get out of my car, out of my dreams into my car. That was it, wasn't it?
Yeah. And red light spells danger. Anyway, I was at a Billy Ocean concert, and during the interval, I was going down the steps to the bar, and the bloke in front of me just came to a halt. Slowly turned around and just stared at me, and I thought it was like, who's this guy? He goes, thought I recognised that voice. I was like, oh. So then he just said, oh, I thought I'd seen you do a video from Stoke. But anyway, if you're in Stoke, Dean, and the reason I'm mentioning it is because of Dean. I was going to mention this in future. I put up a community post. Basically, the other half's Granda hosts a quiz night in Leek in Stoke. And so one night, it's on a Tuesday. So one night in October, I'm going to pick a Tuesday. If anyone's in or around Stoke and can come on the Tuesday, please do, because I'll be going to the quiz. So if you fancy a pint and a natter about West Ham before and after the quiz, do come along and play the quiz still. It's more to support her Granda event thing because, bless him, he loves it, but he's only getting like 4 teams per week at the minute. It's a new thing. So if people can come along, that'd be good. So anyway, now everybody's judging my Billy Ocean shouts. But Mark, in regards to you judging the West Ham team, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty happy, actually. I think he's quite good. I'm glad Antonio's dropped. I know everybody's going to be glad that WHUCHE dropped. I think the only question mark I still have is why Mavropanos over Todibo. I just really wouldn't mind seeing him. I think Mavropanos could be in for a tough time against Chelsea's very agile strikers, but I'm happy. I think in the main, I think there's 10 out of the 11 there that I would have gone for. So yeah, I think it's. I'm confident, quietly confident.
Not the biggest fan of Mavropanos, are you?
No, I'm not. I just think he's just a bit of a lump. He's good in the air, but he doesn't turn very well, and I think he switches off, which is just what you don't need. But then we have no idea what Todibo's like because he's not had a chance yet. So
yeah, I understand both angles. I understand why people would have preferred Todibo, but I understand why he's chosen Mavropanos ahead of Todibo, if that makes sense. I'm relaxed about the decision. I'm looking forward to the attack, actually, though, giving you a bit of a motivational boost, increase your optimism.
Definitely. I think Somerville coming on in the last game was he was definitely the bright light. I think he was the standout player for us. So I'm glad that he's in the starting lineup. And that just gives the opportunity to shift Kudos into a better position for him. I think Lopetegui in the week was saying that he's trying to find the right balance. And I think this looks like a much more balanced team. And if we can get Paqueta on the ball, if he has that time to turn and he can play balls forward to those three, I think we should be in for a very exciting afternoon, which probably means it's going to be 0-0. Yeah,
in particular with Bowen. Bowen's runs and Paqueta's passes is what I'm looking forward to. I want to see that Prague goal duplicate today, please. But because it is good, his Bowen's runs are good and Paqueta's passes are good, so it sort of makes sense that we might see that link up a little bit. But I feel like it's a big opportunity for Somerville and to some extent Kudus on the right as well, because Fulkrug won't be far away from returning to fitness, right? I think it's fair that he might even make the Anfield game, the Brentford game. He won't be far off coming back. I think that when he does, there will maybe be a little bit of pressure on Lopetegui to put him straight back in. So I feel like the boys, Somerville on the left and Kudus on the right, have today and maybe Liverpool to sort of show what they can do and put Fulkrug on the bench when he returns rather than straight into starting 11. So I think it's a big opportunity for both today.
Yeah, I think with Fulkrug, I think we've seen enough to kind of know the type of player he is. I don't think he's the Bowen is going to run everywhere. We don't seem, the last three strikers we've had have been quite static, I think, and taller players. And that wouldn't suit Chelsea anyway. So I think this is a much more mobile attack. I was speaking to my friend before the game, actually, and we were just talking about Chelsea's defence or the players. Like, it's really hard to know them because there's so many of them and they rotate so often. I don't quite know what they'll be like, but we know they're pacey. Chelsea have always been quite pacey, and they can just hit you on the counter. So yeah, I don't know how he's going to really set up in terms of defensive, but we're at home, so I hope we go for it. And I think it'll be quite a balanced game. Yeah,
I think maybe I've watched Chelsea a bit more than you or something. I feel like I know what we're going to get from them today. I think the fullbacks are there to be got at, though, especially for Fofana, who centre-backs make lower fouls than fullbacks for obvious reasons. And Fofana's foul count is relatively high for the centre-back. So now he's at right back. I think there's an opportunity. And weirdly, I think Kudus on the left might have been okay today for running at and past Fofana. However, I'm pleased that he's on the right and Bowen's up front. But Somerville's more of a cutting inside kind of guy. So I want to see Emerson down that left side a lot today because I think he's been underwhelming so far this season. You know, you discussed it with Gonzo during the week, and I think he's been underwhelming. But I think the reason I think he has been is because Kudus is ahead of him. And you can't really it's harder to overlap a winger that wants to go on the outside than it is a winger that will cut inside. So today, I think it'll be 10 times easier for Emerson to get forward, and that's got to happen as far as I'm concerned. He has to provide that whip on the left-hand side because Kudus will provide on the right in Wan-Bissaka, but Emerson, I think, is key to get down there and move Somerville in. Anyway, we're getting a lot of Billy Ocean puns filtering through, but I have to say to Stevie, I do like this one. So Billy Ocean says, "Get out of my what is it? Get out of my dream, jump in my car." Right then, so there you go.
Good work, Stevie.
I like it, Stevie. 10 out of 10 from me. That's a big yes. But anyway, I stand by. I like Billy Ocean. I'm sticking to it. All right, he's good. Billy Ocean's good. Let's see him live. Go because he will be around much longer. So appreciate him while you can, is all I'm going to say. It's uncomfortable watching. He must be in his 80s, surely. He was uncomfortable watching a guy that old try and dance still, but still got the voice. He's still a good singer. Jeff says, would be a tricky game to bring Todibo in. I can see him only getting in when we have injuries. I think he'll play against Liverpool. I think he'll get his opportunity against Liverpool, personally.
Tough one to come in, though, isn't it? Against Liverpool.
Yeah, but you're going to have to play eventually. We've committed 40 million on the guy next summer, practically. And we can't go all season not playing him because we don't want to buy him. So he's going to have to start getting game time sooner rather than later. And I think Liverpool's listen, if Mavropanos has a blinder today, then keep it the same because I want to beat Liverpool. But if we see our usual one big mistake, Konstantinos, then I think the switch becomes an easy one for Lopetegui to do at Anfield. Enfield says, while Somerville has his moments, I think he tends to go down blind alleys. Leeds fans sat behind him at the Fulham game who said he's the same thing, thought him of a lower Premier League player. Do you agree with that?
It's always tough, I think, when you have those kind of players, like Benrahma lit up the Championship and couldn't make the step up. So it's too early to make those calls, and hopefully if he gets better coaching, because Leeds went through managers, so hopefully if he gets better coaching that can coach that out of him, get his head up a bit, then I think we could have a really, really good player there.
I agree with that comment from Enfield regarding Somerville, but we knew that when we bought him, and also like Mark just said there, it's about coaching him and getting him better. He's not the finished article yet. He's 23 years old. He will hopefully go on, get more consistent, make better decisions. But what we've got to work with, a lower Premier League player, I don't necessarily disagree with that, but I think the potential is for him to go on and become better and for him to go on and become a player worthy of playing European football for a Premier League club. I don't see that as a bad thing personally. When you sign someone from the Championship, they're not quite ready for top teams in the Premier League. It's not the end of the world. There's plenty of room for him to improve. And at the minute, he's a squad player. He's someone that comes in today when Fulkrug's injured and hopefully will stake his claim for a place permanently in the side. But if it doesn't work out, it's not the end of the world. And he remains an incredibly good option to bring off the bench. I think that's a fair assessment of him. And I'm not too bothered about him not quite being good enough yet. It's not the end of the world. Not every player is. So
yeah. Are we saying that it's going to be Kudus on the right? So that's up against Sancho and Cucurella. So they'll be on that left side. Yeah. So I think Kudus is going to have to play a little bit more defensive as well today. I don't think he's going to have to track back a bit, especially. I know you're saying about Emerson bombing forward, but we don't know how fit he is. Obviously, he went off injured, so is he still carrying a slight knock? So I don't know if he'll get forward.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you on that one. Hammer Boy said Paqueta needs a seriously good game today, as does Rodriguez. Others waiting to take their chance and their place in the team. And Jeff said, just hope West Ham don't get in the red light district and get stuck in the danger zone. There we go. There's going to be a lot of Billy Ocean puns. That's what I get for confessing my Billy Ocean. He's one of my favorite. I just like Billy Ocean. All right, I prefer Rod Stewart. There you go. That's even more possibly questionable. Yeah, I do. I like Rod Stewart.
That's more questionable. No, I definitely go for more of a Billy Ocean, Luther, Lionel. They're all classics.
I enjoyed going to see Rod Stewart when I was 15. I was like the youngest person there watching Rod Stewart, just full of mums, me and mums watching Rod Stewart. And the last time I went to see him, it summed up in I felt a little bit. Do you know when you reach your 30s, you almost appreciate things that make you feel young, don't you? Like you get to 30 and you think, right, anything that makes you feel on the younger side of life is good, right? And last time I went to see Rod Stewart, took my seat, and I kid you not, there was like a lot of people just driving around on mobility scooters.
Yeah.
So I was on the younger age, remained on the younger age of the spectrum when it came to go and see Rod Stewart. So there you go. Right, Mark, before I love you and leave you, because I need to go downstairs and get ready for the game. Me and Gonzo both said 2-1 on the preview. Now, I can't speak for Gonzo. I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with 2-1 West Ham. What are you feeling?
Yeah, I think we'll nick it by a goal. So I'm hoping it's 2-1. I think it'll be 1-0.
Well, as long as we win. How's your memory, by the way? If I was to tell you the 2 bet giveaways today, what's the chances of you remembering it?
Not great.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, and hopefully other people will help you remember. So if this bet wins, someone wins £100 cash. West Ham to win, Jackson and Bowen to have a shot on target, Cucurella and Fofana both to do a foul, and Enzo Fernandez to have a shot. Doesn't need to hit the target. But we've got a second one. And if this wins, someone wins £300. And that's West Ham to win the game, Cole Palmer to have 2 shots on target, Bowen to score, and Alvarez to be booked. If that wins, someone wins £300 cash. So we might be giving away hopefully we're giving away £400 here on the channel. Right, before I disappear and leave it to Northie to take control, he's on his own until Nick joins him. The Coldplay fella, as someone asked earlier, said, where's the Coldplay fella? He will be along a little bit later. He's just missing the kickoff in the early parts of the game. So Northie's with you, and then Nick will join. Just one point in the direction of the video sponsors, Match Bingo. The link to download the app is in the description below. You've got 9 minutes to go and grab your cards. They've got a promotion on the West Ham game at the minute, which is buy 3, get 2 free. So it'll cost you £6, but you will receive 5 bingo cards. And it's combining the traditional game of bingo with football. This match in particular, you get 15 things that you need to happen. It automatically updates it for you. So don't worry, you don't need to tick off your card when things occur in the game that you think you've won. It automatically updates it for you. Pays out first line £25, 2 lines £50, and first person to get the full house will win £100 cash. Plus, there's that bonus pot as well for anybody who gets full house, but we're not first. They'll win a share of that bonus pot. Please do use the link in the description below so they know you come from Hammers Chat. So get it downloaded. You've got a handful of minutes to get it ahead of the game. And good luck to everybody who's playing. Hope people from Hammers Chat win their money. Mark, I will love you and leave you. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the watch along.
Great stuff.
I'll be back after full time to do the review, hopefully celebrating 3 points for West Ham. But enjoy yourself, everybody in live chat. Look after him.
Cheers. Hello, everyone. Yeah, just to kind of, there was a couple of questions there. Well, firstly, where's Charlie? Which I think we're going to have every week. But the Coldplay fella, Nick, he's going to hopefully join us around half time. So you've got me beforehand. And I'm going to have a look at some of the comments in here. Yes, Pete, still in Springfield. Okay, there's score predictions today. We have, it's quite a lot of people going for the 2-1. Quite a few. Dixie's gone crazy with the 4-1. Okay, now what I wanted to talk about is Antonio and Danny Ings both on the bench. Now, if we need to replace a striker, which one are we bringing on? So let's kind of have your thoughts on that. Seems a bit strange to have that. And I think Danny Ings, for me, would probably get the edge, but it'd be great to get your thoughts. So drop those in the comments. We are 7 minutes away from kickoff. MC's going for Ings. I don't think anyone's got Chelsea to win. I'm looking through the comments. So are we really that confident? Shamrock Dan. Chelsea are nowhere near a top 8 club. I don't know. It'd be good to get people's thoughts on that one. So I think probably that's round about where they are. Remember, they've got the youngest age squad. I mean, they've got the biggest squad as well, but a ridiculously young squad. I think if Maresca, have I said that right? If he gets them to gel, then I think it's going to take a season or so. But, you know, a lot of promise there, but we've all seen a lot of promise when you're a young kid and got that sort of money. Doesn't always work out. Okay, anyone else going? Gettings. Stevie's saying this is kind of what I kind of agree with. I think Antonio now he's not going to get a new contract, is he? Does anyone know when Antonio's contract runs out? It's got to be next year, isn't it? Surely. Lewis going the other way. Antonio, for me, does well against them. Yeah, but he's gone now, isn't he? He's gone, so I'm not sure on that one. Sean has gone for an interesting one. Antonio at right back. Are we sticking him back? What do you do with Emerson then, Sean? Not sure on that one. Someone did pick. Thanks for pointing that one out. Must have gone back, so missed that. Anyone else? Gonna leave. Right, Danny to poach a winner. Yep, it's not a bad thing. Shove Antonio on the wing instead. Collingwood, where would you? Who do you drop if you're putting Antonio on the wing? You're dropping Kudus, Somerville. Who would you go for out of those? I know who I'd go for. And Stevie's saying get Antonio up front on his own. I think that's where we've been struggling though. I think he's not holding on to anything like he used to. He used to could play it into him and he'd hold off players. He had that strength and pace just to do something because he didn't know what he was doing himself. Antonio's always been one of those unpredictable strikers that you can't work out whether he's going to turn you left or right because he doesn't know that. That's always what it seems like anyway. But now things just don't seem to stick to him. And I think that is the problem we're having. So if you're playing Kudus and Bowen wide, playing balls into him, Paqueta's not really the one that's going to sort of follow up in the box. It's a strange one. I just think his time's done. I don't see a place for Antonio in this team at all anymore, unfortunately. And he's been a great servant. And also now that suggestion of trying to put him back into other positions where I think where we had a weaker squad, you could drop him at right wing, you could drop him at right back. I think we've got better options there now. So I just don't really see a place for him in the team, but that's just my opinion. Great to get yours. Gary saying thinks Ings, he deserves it. And yeah, I think he does. 3-2 Shamrock for the Hammers. Pete saying they just covered the West Ham Chelsea game on Football Focus. 7 minutes on Chelsea, 30 seconds on us. Yeah, there's no big team bias there, is there, Pete? Yeah, we're used to that anyway. Yeah, that's not a nice choice. That's right, Douglas, actually. Ings and Antonio is like choosing between Labour and Conservative, isn't it? They're both, you're going to get crap whatever way you go for, but don't start me on politics. Let's hope not, Dylan. We're not Chelsea. We're not there yet. Are we missing Soucek's goal threat? Soucek in goal. Yeah, that's a great point there by Stephen. Who would you rather have? Excuse me, still getting over this cold. Who would you rather have as the last shot? Yeah, you would rather have Ings. He's definitely probably the best finisher we've got there. I don't know if like Bowen's he gets the goals because he works so hard to get into the positions, but in terms of finishing, Ings has got to be the best one we've got at the club. Can't speak for Fulkrug. I haven't seen him enough. So it's a bit of a tough one. Someone I've not seen on the bench, has been mentioned for a bit, is Guilherme. Now, he's not even made the bench today, I noticed. So I'm going to fact check that, actually, but I'm pretty sure that was correct. So what's happening with... Is he there? No. So anyone know what's happening with him? Your thoughts? Should he get a run out? I still see Irving on the bench. Obviously, Solaire's now come in. Is there going to be a place for Guilherme in the team anymore? Tony saying that apart from Avrapanos, this is a good starting lineup. Okay, we are seconds away from kickoff, so I'm just going to try and find my watch along. Give me a second, people. Okay. Ings for me, Paul said Antonio has been rubbish since mid-season. Agree, Paul, but what season? Probably last season, the one before. I don't think he's been great for a while now. And I don't want to hate on Antonio because he has been great for us, but he's just spent now. Lewis, last 20 minutes he can do a job. Yeah. Again, I speak to my friend before the game, and it was exactly that. He's a last minute man, isn't he? Okay, let me kick this off. Chelsea looking stronger now. Sancho, Palmer, and Shamrock saying only good for 25 minutes if we're losing. Agreed. Now, where's my bloody link? Sorry, folks. Bloody BT for you. Come on, bloody hell. Okay. And great, stream's frozen. Ev Todd saying go for attack. Yeah, they'd be good to see some good action. Will he do it though? Do you think he's going to really go for it in this game? I mean, the West Ham Chelsea games have typically been pretty good. They've been quite attacking, so hopefully we will go for it. Crap. What's going on with my link? Right. Okay, I am on, just so everyone is aware, 30 seconds. So it might be a little bit behind. It's Kudos, Fouls, Kukurea early. Looks like a beautiful day and a packed stadium. Okay. And score predictions. Mikey, mine was 1-0. I think 1-0 to West Ham. I'm hoping it's more. Okay, side by side. Yeah, I'd love to see us score 3 again. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't want to be pessimistic, but that was a beautiful day out. Okay. Too many bloody tabs open. Okay, so it's just Chelsea playing it around at the moment. Will be last season. Yeah, I know we scored 3 last season. Be a slave and play for England. Yeah, sorry, Ryan. I just had a few technical issues, but I'm all good now. 3-2 win. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. We've not really been on the ball so far, so let me get this here. There we go. So Chelsea forward. Kukurea's bringing it forward. Out wide. Gone back. So I don't know what possession stats are, but it's all Chelsea at the moment. But it's early doors, only 2 minutes in. Rosie, do I have a drink? Do have a drink. Just blackcurrant. I had a few beers last night, so I've gone easy. Gone easy today. Need a bit of a sugar injection as well. So gone. But I might save that for half time. Yeah, we do need a scoreboard. Yeah, Gio's not giving us the budget for that, unfortunately, so I can't put scoreboard up. But we're only 3 minutes in, and it's 0-0. You'd have to be very disciplined to overcome the urge to leave something on Cucurella. Not a fan then, Douglas. Not a huge fan of him. So still 0-0 at the moment. Chelsea with the ball. Lots of space there. Again, on that right-hand side. Oh, that's 1-0 to Chelsea. Too much time. Okay, so 3 minutes, 25 seconds in, 1-0 Chelsea. And again, this falls back to that problem that I was saying against Fulham, that everything comes down that left. Wan-Bissaka, players on the left-hand side just seem to have so much space. Oh, who was it who scored? Whoever their number 50. Oh, it was Jackson. Jackson scored. Brian, he should be here about half-time. He had something to do this morning. But this was sloppy. This was really sloppy play. I mean, the back line, there was no back line. And the same we had last week. We're not playing it, and then he nutmegs the keeper. But it was so easy. Just switched off from a free kick, took it quickly. The defence weren't organised. And Wan-Bissaka sleeping. Although, yeah, Wan-Bissaka was sleeping there, but I think the centre-backs there they just weren't in a line. They just weren't set up. So, an absolutely shocking start. But, that can only kick us into life. Dylan saying Mavropanos got his mistake out the way early. Yeah, it's a tough one there because, they just didn't line up. They just weren't organised. But Kilman's supposed to be the leader in that team, though. I think that's why he brought him in. So, yeah. EKB reactions. Well, you're right then. Only Alvarez has shown some interest in that. Yeah. It's just defensively, we need a lot of work. Also, this comes back to, and again, not Areola's fault at all, that goal, but having those keepers that really try and marshal that defence, that's probably, that's a centre-back's job to get them in a line straight from a free kick. But, I just think the whole defence, there's something not clicking there. West Ham on the attack now. Is that going up for no, kept it in. Just bobbling around, but we're near the Chelsea box at the moment. And not really much happening. Chelsea have the ball back. Passing it around very dangerously. So we're pressing well, and it's gone out for a throw on. I agree with that. Ironix, it was a training ground goal. Looks like the worst defence in history has actually got worse. Yeah, that was shocking. That was shocking. We said the same last week, though. I think the Fulham goal was another shocker. It was avoidable. Do we need to bring back Wally Downs to try and get that defensive unit a bit better? Hello, Mar Decker. Sorry if I've mullered your name there. Says we need to explore the right side. Our free kick came from there. Yeah, our right defensive side is a weakness. So, everyone's hating on Sufal because he doesn't get forward enough. Or when he does, he doesn't cross it enough. And then you've got Wan-Bissaka, remember, gets forward too much and lacks his defensive duties. Gonzo's at the game, so he's not going to be overly happy on that one. Jogs down the pitch and nutmegs the goal. He liked being at school. It was. It wasn't good finish, to be fair, for the keeper's legs. Credit to him. Bowie's now got the ball on the attacks. He's tanked down midfield. Got to be a yellow card, surely. Not a yellow card. But Bowen broke there. And he was taken down. West Ham with the ball out on the right. Wan-Bissaka cuts inside. Kudos taking on Cucurella, beat him. Oh, that was a fantastic cross. Fantastic cross by Kudos. Somerville nearly got in the end of that with a head that was just over his head. But that was really, really good. Guys, Turvin, Bowen and Somerville, just over. What is the formation? I think it's a 4-2-3-1, I'd say. When looking at that, the kind of setup. Dean saying, I didn't want him in the summer, Lopetegui. People said he'd organise the defence. It looks worse than last season. Yeah, it's only the 5th game. And we've got quite a new defence. Takes a bit of time. But I don't think we've got any well beaters at the moment. You can't say they're class. DeCanio, Fernandez would be too slow for Vets football. Yeah, he's a strange one for me at the moment. Wan-Bissaka tracking back there, done really well. And got it forwards, Kudos, played back to Mavropanos. Who hoofs it upfield. Long ball game now. Bowen's chasing. Oh, keeper come out. Wasn't very convincing there, but Chelsea do come away with the ball and hoof it up the pitch for a throw-on. 4-5-1 says Kirakos is the formation. Then actually says, yeah, I was right. More 4-2-3-1. Yeah, I think that's probably the right formation. Although it's all fluid, interchangeable these days. It's definitely not a 4-4-2 because that's just old-fashioned. But Kudos is looking dangerous. So I agree with that. Get the ball to him. West Ham do have the ball at the moment. They're in midfield. Plays it to Wan-Bissaka. Loose pass. Plays it straight to a Chelsea player. And Chelsea now have the ball. Ali, why didn't we go for Amrin in the summer from Sporting? I think it was because Liverpool was sniffing around and he was holding out. So yeah, maybe we couldn't afford him. I'm not sure, to be honest. There was talks of it, but yeah, it didn't happen. One Football says we're playing 4-3-4-3. Definitely not playing 3 at the back. One Football. I used to work for One Football. They're shit. Don't worry about it. I don't know what I'm on about. Okay. Big booted forward, no forward plan. There's a foul there. Emerson fouled Cole Palmer. Ooh. Chelsea defensive mix up at the back there. Almost scored an own goal. Well, I say almost scored an own goal. I passed it back and it was shocking. Chelsea on the break now. Down that right again. Where's Wan-Bissaka? Oh, I can't even see. Wan-Bissaka's not even in shot. Oh, nearly 2-1. Just Cole Palmer shoots. Just goes past the post. And it come down the right-hand side. I can't even... Where is Wan-Bissaka? Wan-Bissaka's like on a halfway line when that's breaking. And the shot's taken. Absolutely right, William. Totally agree with that. His defensive work is looking shocking at the moment. Looking really bad. A bit of a glory player. And there is a clap going round for Ellie, who's I think was the young player who sadly passed away, and West Ham fan. Mav is a liability today, playing it down blind alleys. The problem is now, and I think where Chelsea are really going to open us up is if Wan-Bissaka's, we probably are now a 4. Coming back to the earlier comment, we probably are now a 3-4-3 because Wan-Bissaka's not. Oh, it's a wild shot from West Ham way over the bar. If he's so out of position, then they're going to have to cover him. So they're pulling the defence apart. So that's Lopetegui who's got to say, get him back, get Wan-Bissaka back, and stick there. Give us some cover. Yeah, absolutely right, Dean. We're totally open. And apparently Chelsea have changed formation as well. Push Coqueret into midfield. Yeah, he's certainly come on leaps and bounds, hasn't he, as a player? There was question marks that money, but he does look really good now. West Ham have the ball with Areola. Possession stats, 70% Chelsea, 30% West Ham at the moment. So, we're not getting the ball. I'm still unsure about the pairing of Alvarez and Fernandez Rodriguez, I should say, in midfield for us. I don't think they offer too much protection. They don't seem to win the ball a lot. So I think they need to do a lot more. Okay, any other comments we've got here? Kim is saying, we know who J-Lo will bring on to score in the second half, Soucek. Soucek and Ings are going to be the new super subs, it seems. Kudos and 10 clowns so far. I'm not sure what you mean by that one, James. Oh, okay. I do know what you mean. Yeah, Kudos is playing all right and the rest are clowns. West Ham are breaking now. They're on the left. Somerville cuts inside. Going to get a shocking pass. But luckily he was kicked after he passed the ball. And it's going to be a free kick to West Ham just outside the box. So this is an opportunity for a shot. Chris said, awful again. This is the norm for West Ham. Well, yeah, we've seen a bit of mediocre in recent and we was all excited. And here's Nick. How you doing, mate?
I gather things are not going well.
No, 1-0 down, but we have got a free kick on the edge of the box now. Somerville just... Oh, no, sorry, it wasn't Somerville. It was Emerson. No, it was Somerville. No, it was Emerson.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm late.
Big night.
Running around like a blue-assed fly in the heat, pretending to play football. So, yeah, I join you at a shit period of time.
Well, we're watching West Ham who are pretending to play football as well, so don't worry about that. It's been shocking so far. Really poor start. But we have got Paqueta is lining up a shot here from just outside the box. So I think we had one shot so far and it's skied over. And that one he went to try and go under the wall, even though there was a player laying there.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like we had, the right starting lineup that everyone was waiting for. Mm-hmm. And then obviously, apparently, it's taken 4 minutes for us to then put ourselves on the back foot. Although all I've seen so far since I got here is us in possession.
It's been 70% Chelsea, 30% us. They've counted us twice. They could have been 2-0 up, so one whistle just past the post. And he's dodged on that. But Wan-Bissaka went AWOL for the goal. So he just marauding forward, not tracking back. And they just counted us. Yeah, this is the question we asked as well. Why isn't Todibo playing? I'm not sure. I don't know what he's done wrong. Mavropanos, it does make mistakes. That's why I'm not a fan of him.
Poor old Gonzo.
Lopetegui was on the sidelines and he's not happy.
Get Gonzo on the sidelines.
Funny if they zoom in at him. Fearing the worst, Hammer time. Could be an absolute tanking. Yeah, he's got to sort it out. He's got to sort something out because this is poor. Our defense should stay in defense. We get forward. Yeah, totally agree. But this is not a game where you want your fullbacks really bombing on. I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, not against a pacey, athletic team in which, first goal being important because first goal states the obvious, but they are the team that will either be tails up or have a bit of a sulk. But then I haven't seen the first goal. So, again, you can only blame the players. Oh, God. Jackson's through on goal again. Oh, fuck. 2-0. 2-0 Chelsea. So, yeah, what a day. What a day. You let someone like Nicholas Jackson score who can't score. Kilman's looking sheepish.
Scored 2. Jackson got the first as well.
Obviously, I would say the Chelsea fans look happy, but I mean, they have deep psychological problems to be Chelsea fans, so
It's ridiculous.
They don't really count. Areola looks mightily pissed off, which you would do if the only way they score is the way they just scored, by their runner going through on goal. So yeah,
I'm starting to agree with you now. Hammer time. Coming back to this moment a second ago.
Yeah, it was one
pissed. Yeah, Dina also says he really hopes Moyes gets another job soon. Doesn't look good at all.
I mean, what doesn't make sense for that goal was that Alvarez was marking Jackson. Why would that happen? Why would you make the defensive midfielder be the last man marking their striker who's going to try and run through on goal? Why should that not be one of the centre-backs always on?
Again, I think Kilman was on the right. Kilman was pulled for, I said this a bit earlier, Kilman has been pulled over to the right because Wan-Bissaka doesn't seem to be staying on the right. So that's leaving it 3 at the back. But the way, I mean, very good movement from Jackson because he kind of run in, but the way Alvarez followed him was very schoolboy as well because he was able just to run in a circle. It's just way too easy. Defence is shocking.
Yeah, I mean, in the midfield, whoever, I didn't quite see who played that pass, whoever their number 25 is. Giving the midfielder that much space is not the end of the world, in a sense. But if Jackson, again, who's only looking to score one way, oh, we've got a corner, yippee. Jackson's only looking to score one way. So you got 2 centre backs. You got one Jackson. One of the centre backs needs to be on him, ready to run with him because that's the ball they're going to play.
Yeah. DiCanio called that. I mean, against this team, you can't get tight. You can't get that tight in a pacey team against a pacey strikers like this.
I mean, even if you're going to, even if there's been something that says that Alvarez will do that, be on him, he can't be the last man. That doesn't make any. You don't have your centre defensive midfielder as your last man on their pacey striker. You can have him. You can have him there if you've got one other sweeping ready to get that ball as it comes through, which is quite clearly their game plan.
Rich, if there's any overtime available, mate, I'd go and take it.
Yeah, well, here we go. I mean, we now know what we're looking for. Just staying crazily positive. We're looking for a response here. 2-0, dangerous result to have. So we get one. Momentum's going to turn. Let's go into the world of cuckoo land, nonsense, dreaming, silliness at the moment.
Where is the midfield? Says Brian. Watched Rodriguez a few times. Looks very average. I agree. I've not seen anything that. Are we wanting Souček back in the team? Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, I mean I've got a comment here. Not Dave. Only possible and Kudos, right? Well, yeah, that's true as well. G. Walsh. Get Antonio Souček on. Obviously, he's
fishing.
He can be he's facetious. This coach has got to go. I mean, he got the lineup right, but apparently he's miscommunicated something because we're playing a high line with Alvarez deep. So, nice bit of play there. I mean, Somerville's playing well every time I've seen him get the ball. I mean, he gives it into Bowen. Bowen gets it through back to Somerville, a bit too far. Somerville's in the box, but he's got no one available to pass to. He's pushed outside of the box, still on possession, looking to come in. Paqueta puts the ball in. No one's there. Do we win a corner? Yes, we do. Good bit of play. Somerville looks sharp.
Yeah, he's got good energy. And yes, Josh, I think you are right on that one. We have gone goal behind. Defensively, we're looking shocking.
Yeah, and James says, Paqueta is not it. James says, only positive Somerville and Kudus. Bowen looks to put the cross in. No, bobbles out. Bowen's got it again, looks to put the ball in again, crosses it in, not very good cross, comes out to Wan-Bissaka. Bowen on the right wing, cross again, let's see. No, he's got possession, threads it through, they're calling for offside on Paqueta, don't know if it was. Ball comes back, Bowen, bad shot. Nothing wrong with the play, but again, well, no, it's like we were saying, just go a goal down and you're up against it because everything you do has to be rushed. Paqueta probably was offside there if they VAR'd that one anyway.
Yeah, Paqueta for me, as someone said there earlier, he's not the one. His form's not great at all.
I mean, Lopetegui's going a bit mental, but then presumably he set the defence up in the way that has given them a lot of space.
He's shouting at them saying, want the ball, you don't want the ball, you've got to call for it. So, good shout, I totally agree. So, I mean, Lopetegui's saying the right things. He wants them to do it. If they're not doing it, I'm not saying they're against him or anything, but I don't know. Max Kilman and Mavropanos is a dodgy centre-back pairing.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with Todibo because I don't like no one can look at Mavropanos and just simply think, yes, that is the centre-back for me. Because his list of mistakes is racking up.
Get Craig Dawson back.
If only.
I love Dawson. Lack of pace in midfield is going to cost us this season. Yeah, I agree.
Somerville's good. Somerville is, every time Somerville gets the ball, he's good.
He wants it, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he keeps it. He does what's not easy, but he makes it look simple at the same time.
That back heel from Paqueta. We'll come back to that.
Yeah, that was unnecessary.
I know. That's dry.
We're not playing, like when we get it, we're not playing it around badly. But we give the opposition a lovely, comfortable 2-goal lead. Paqueta gets the ball, threads it through to no one. I'm trying to support Paqueta, but I mean, he's not doing himself any favours by playing through balls that aren't on.
Yeah, we're not going wide enough. No, that was a shocking through ball. Loppy Screamy saying his training sessions ain't working. Yeah, I'd love to be a fly on the wall.
Yeah, I mean, the screaming and the stuff, like players are showing for it. Players are moving it around. But it's too late. Zia says 2-2 win. I'm going to go 89th minute, WHUCHE equaliser. WTF is Paqueta doing from Liam? Yeah, I mean, at this point, when you're 2-0 down, you basically give all the players an expectation of perfection is the only option now, because the only way you're going to come back is when we have possession. Chelsea very, very happy to sit back. You're 2-0 up. Why wouldn't you be 2-0 up away from home? You just think, okay, sit back, take this to half time. So
Max Kilman there was on the right, like at the right back slot, just won the ball. Wan-Bissaka's kind of next to him. I don't know what's happening there. Max Kilman just seems to be going across. They're not communicating.
Yeah, might as well play Irving. I mean, that is the thing with like a fashion game. Kudus has the ball in the box, shoots, deflection, saved. It's the fashion thing. If Irving was Irvinho from Sao Paulo, then maybe his value would increase. Maybe he'd get some game time off the subs bench.
It was a shot.
That's why Paqueta's frustrating. Because of all people in the country of Brazil, a lot of people think that he is the best Brazilian in that position on the pitch. So that is a time where this is a game where you step up.
What, Guilherme?
No, I mean Paqueta.
So he's not on the bench. Yeah, Paqueta. I know. Paqueta, I mean, you can't be crap to be Brazil's number 10. You've got to be a decent player.
Uses possession. There's nothing wrong with Kudus and what he does, but you're 2-0 down. You put you put the players in the position where they're going to have to, every time Kudus gets the ball now, he thinks the only way forward is to try and beat two men and do something, which sometimes he can do, but not every time. Ball spreads out left to Somerville. So that's a positive. Baketa threads the ball through. That's a penalty. It has to be. Referee's not interested in that blatant pullback on Somerville. I could see from here on the tiny thing of the pitch, that was a shirt pull. I mean, they'll obviously replay it at some point.
Did he go down too easy?
We'll soon find out.
I think he may have got down a little bit easy for any reason he didn't do that.
I want to see a replay. I haven't seen it yet.
Loppy's going to get a yellow card.
I mean, Somerville must have got something. That's okay. Kudus has a free kick. Is he going to give a yellow card because Kudus got smashed in the face? Obviously, this ref is not interested in doing anything that is against Chelsea Football Club. I mean, that's a red, because anyone with a brain, they're going to replay the Somerville one now. Yeah, I mean, he had his hand on him. That's a penalty. That clearly just beyond, he didn't play for it. That's a penalty.
And he's saying the Cole Palmer one was a red card.
That is typical disgusting refereeing. By the rules of the game, his hand is holding Somerville's arm. There's no way you look at that and you say, I mean, the VAR and the penalty, ref is an absolute, I won't say the word. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with this referee, that he has some kind of... they're doing a VAR on it, but why would they do a VAR on it? Because the first time you look at that, I'm just trying not to swear here because this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a penalty for me.
It's a hold.
Yeah. Like
the rules of the game, you can say it's soft, it's not soft, but defender's hand on that's a penalty by the rules of the game.
Running past him, so he's knocked him off balance. He's going to go looking at the screen.
That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. And they haven't even VAR'd the free kick where the Chelsea player span round and his arm was there and he smashed Kudus in the face.
Oh yeah, that's Cole Palmer. I think that was an unlucky one. It wouldn't have been a red anyway, but could have been a yellow.
It was something, but it was a red. If you've got a brain, that was a red, because you don't spin round with your arm at clothesline height in a smashing motion.
Or Enzo, it was
ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Bowen puts the ball in. Corner's coming. Doesn't amount to anything.
Saying it was a fleeting hold.
So a hold then. But so basically by what the ref has done there, in the game of Premier League football, you can now do a couple of second holds. If you're a defender and the attacker's running through, hold his arm and pull him back fleetingly, that you're fine. That's absolutely fine. That's not a foul at all by the new rules made in this game.
How did Baketa not get a shot off there? He didn't need a touch. He took an extra touch just to get that shot. It's ridiculous. Yeah, I reckon in the rule book, if you look, it says
yes. Is he offside? Fuck, he's offside.
Too excited. Never get that early too soon. Never get that excited too soon, mate.
Fuck, he's offside. Bullshit.
But just coming back to Baketa then. He had a chance. He played in, really good ball. He could have just shot first time. He took a touch. And on the rules, with that fleeting hold comment from Dean, a hold's a hold, isn't it? It doesn't say in the rule book, if you hold somebody in the box, that's a penalty, unless it's a fleeting hold. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like the Newcastle away game. Dan Burn made a new rule as he did a mid-air flying crossbody shoulder barge on Kudus, and the ref says nothing. So by the new rules of the game, against West Ham, there's a lot of ways you can stop an attacker scoring. Either hurl yourself into him or just do a fleeting. If he beats the offside trap and the ball comes in, fleeting grab, and that's fine. That is part of football now.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, I get what you're saying, because it, as a defender myself, playing back in the day, that's fine. But with this,
we're going by Premier League rules. We're not going by opinions. And if you take like clubs away from it, thank you also for calling me a joker, because I do try to entertain. But it's not our opinion; it's the rules. So even if I said, "Oh no, that's not against West Ham," that's not the question. The question is, a fleeting hold allows the defender to stop the attacker running through on goal based on the new definition that we have.
Yeah. And as Lee says, we're coming back into it there. We could have had a pen offside. We're doing better.
Sancho. And then the dude with the hairband and the dreadlocks gets the ball. Sancho's in the box, spreads out. And that is the crap shot of Nicholas Jackson that you expect, rather than just give him the opportunity to run through on goal.
He'll get a hat-trick today.
So just about to hit 34 minutes, giving us a bit of time to get one before the break, if the referee allows that to happen.
Yeah, he's having a strange one, isn't he, the ref? Agree, Fred. We ain't getting nothing from this game or the ref. I mean, being 2-0 down the first half is not really helping. And Davina says what we're all thinking.
Yeah, I mean, Paqueta forces it through to Bowen there, which was just not really on. And then Chelsea attack up the left. Good tackle by Mavropanos. Well won by Bowen, who comes back. Well won by Rodriguez out to Paqueta. Gets it to Somerville.
It was,
I mean, at least we now have a left wing. At least the left wing problem is now solved.
There was a good tackle by Mavropanos, but it seems like we're playing more of a sweeper than a back line, because he was the only one that was deeper, but it wasn't like in a line deeper. He was quite a bit, which is a bit more like
close. It was close. Oh, Souček's coming on. Souček is coming on the pitch.
Oh, Rodriguez off. Interesting first half sub.
35 minutes.
Do you know, I like that? I imagine Moyes. Can anybody ever remember Moyes taking someone off half time with that crap? And bringing
the only problem is that why is he doing it? Unless there's an injury. I mean, they haven't shown, like, Rodriguez isn't limping or down. The camera hasn't been on him looking at the bench. So someone's going to, if it is Rodriguez, I don't even know if it is. I mean, someone's going to get a nasty shock.
Yeah, but I think it's say we need a goal, and he is capable. Is he our top scorer this season?
Probably. Chelsea shoot wide. So I still don't know.
We got two.
Yeah,
past the post.
So
who's off? Rodriguez?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's not been in the game at all, so it doesn't really surprise me.
Still
a goal threat though.
Man management. Do you just yank someone off the pitch at 30 whatever minutes it is, 40 minutes? I mean, he doesn't look pissed off. He's still like high five Souček. I don't know. Maybe he's just knackered. It's a hot day out there. It's a hot day. It's a fast game. And now we have the footballing delights of Thomas Souček. So let's just see.
Interestingly, though, Rodriguez didn't say or look at Lopetegui as he walked off. Kind of walked by him straight down the tunnel, or to a physio, maybe. Maybe he has got a knock.
Yeah, I mean, we're only going to find out after the game that as Kilman does well to bring it out. Souček makes an accurate pass over to Emerson on the left, who makes a nice pass up to Bowen, off to Somerville. Bowen was fouled. Referee gives us something. Hooray, amazing, wonderful. A fleeting grab of the arm, the new Premier League tactic. So if anyone's got a kid playing football, or you teach kids teams or something, you want to work on the fleeting arm pull for your defenders. So if you just to stop the opposition scoring, just little yank of the arm, and this referee's fine with that. Yeah, let's get to the comments. If you're a lot of people are not excited by Souček coming on.
Bowen seems to have taken a bit of a kick as he's limping around a bit. Hopefully he's nothing too serious.
Soler not ready yet. I mean, he must be a bit ready. He's still a professional footballer, one would think. Jeff says Thomas the saviour. Ultra Sol is ready if he can make the bench. I agree. Unless he thinks with the pace of the game, Paqueta's going to get knackered at 65, 70 and he's saving Soler as Paqueta gets pushed off the pitch by Cucurella, but the referee is, you won't be surprised, the referee's not interested. Fred has my thoughts. I mean, they train. They're in their 20s and their job is to train around and be fit. This joker blaming the ref for the awful performance. I'm not sure if that is directed at me again. Thank you for that. But the penalty. It's nice to have a penalty because that gives you an opportunity to score a goal unopposed from 15 yards after their defender has pulled down the attacker. So that's why I think it was a penalty that we should have had at that point. CM, the sheep player, who are you referring to? I mean, there's a few on the pitch you could name. Gary says sack him now. I don't even care. Because you might say, in this situation, there's always people who are right, I've had enough, sack him. And then there's people that are saying, no, give him time. I just feel like the give him timers might be in the position of the sack him nowers in about 6 weeks. So the sack him nowers have basically just expedited that as Kudus runs into the box, tries to get the ball in, but it doesn't go anywhere. Souček, no, at keeper. Decent chance, decent effort, well worked, not much wrong with it.
I don't want to be one of these clubs that keeps sacking managers, though. Yeah,
Bill, turning into a circus. Souček is the answer. You're not asking the correct question. Very true. Because he plays for one of the glamour clubs, and referees have psychological imbalances where they need to be loved and popular. So if they think a club is happening, if they think Chelsea defenders are doing fleeting grabs, they don't give anything. Oops, sorry.
It's all right. I'll take that as a compliment. I agree with that. The game is horrendous, but we're coming into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It was Mr. Hammer that said that. And then CM was referring to Souček. Yeah.
Brendan said he's just sent a tweet to the Premier League and the screenshot the wording. Fleeting is not listed in the handbook.
I couldn't agree more with you, Brendan. We need to launch a new West Ham campaign of this referee and the fleeting hold. What is he talking about? What is the VAR? I don't even know who's in the VAR. I mean, who cares? The people in the VAR, I don't know what their name is. I don't know what their background is, but I would say that on balance, I'm not being mean or trolling. They probably have psychological imbalances, or they haven't played the game of football.
Pete's getting worried already. I think there was Harry Redknapp. You said yesterday things will finish top 6. Not looking likely. I know we've played Chelsea, Villa, Man City. So maybe would you really expect much out of those anyway?
Oh no. Nothing comes of it. It's basically like some points of the Man City game and the Fulham game in the second half, in that now we're not playing badly. We are passing it round. We're creating chances. Chelsea haven't had any chances for 10, 15 minutes. The last one was that weak Nicholas Jackson shot. If it was 0-0, the way we're playing is fine. But the setup offered Chelsea, obviously they got 2, but it offered them at least 1 on a plate. If we were going to say, you know what, we're not really going to mark the one player you've got who's going to run through on goal. Kilman picks it up nicely, tries to thread a pass, doesn't work.
Kudus is forcing the play. Agree with that. And Ultra says Lopetegui needs a couple more transfer windows before we can judge him. Well, he is.
I mean, he's got Todibo on the bench, so
yeah,
he just needs to not start Mavropanos. Dean says that Rodriguez took a knock, so that explains that. Don't know if you put this already, but
I don't know how he hasn't done anything. I don't know what he knocked himself on.
Dean says he's joking. The only adjective our friend Ben knows. Nice. Let's get wordy. Let's get vocabularistic. I mean, I haven't seen in some of the runs up the left, almost fouled, but not quite. Held back again, referee not interested. Oh, he's fouled, and the referee gave him a foul. Hallelujah. Wow, fantastic, wonderful.
Pete saying, why not go 2 up top? Who are you bringing on? Who do you have, Nick? Ings or Antonio?
Ings. Yeah, I mean, Brent says, how long does he need? Obsidian says he should have signed that petition. Jacob says it basically you start like that. Jesus Christ.
There's some of it for a small play, done really well there. It's quite strong. Take on 2 players.
Fleeting hand. Kyriakos. Where would you like a fleeting hand? Put in the chat. If you had to have a fleeting hand, don't be graphic. Ball comes in. No. Mavropanos heads wide. If you have to have a fleeting hand, in what situation, apart from being an attacker running through on goal, would you have a hold? At least you two are giving informative conversation on football. I'm trying. I mean, my mood is at the rock bottom level at this point. So if anything, I would like to swear furiously and just sit in a bad mood, harumphing.
It must be so easy to be on the Man City fan channel.
But this is why. Yeah, imagine. They must have them. The people on the Man City fan channels must be around the age of 18 or 19 at most, and they're from, like just Southampton and Norwich, and Croydon, and just many areas, and Asia and Japan, whatever. But it must be so easy for them. The absolute dog shit that we have to watch.
So that was a fantastic run by Kudus. Really good. And played it to Wan-Bissaka, who tried to nutmeg a Chelsea defender and just got robbed.
Yeah. And Robin doesn't like it. Ben, Kudus is tearing them apart. Kudus, Somerville, Bowen, Alvarez, Emerson, they're all having good games. Josh says, how long you locked in doing lives for? That's such a good question. Yeah, I mean, I think we could all be doing better things than watching
your team gets
annoying crap where good footballers that we have are basically put up against it.
Another corner at West Ham.
Yeah. Corner comes in, Bowen.
Definitely a much more even game now, though.
Bobbling around. Fleeting hands do the washing up, says Jeff. Ball's in the box, bobbling and bobbling and bobbling. Mavropanos goes up into the air, and it was offside.
Being Donald Trump on us.
What's that going to do with anything? Dean's gone MAGA. Okay, so halftime.
He's going to tear them a new one. He will tear them a new one in that.
I'm going to try and race through some comments before I go back to that Man City watchlong point. So I think there's a lot of comedy gold there to be mined. Paul says we look unfit. Shamrock Dan, we need an exorcist. Chris, bottom by Christmas. I think we're going to be there now. Ross is asking how to block someone because I think there was I say Chelsea fan, which is putting it nicely. I'm just trying not to be.
That's all right.
They can't handle Somerville, 2 free kicks and a penalty. Shane, we cover match more. We're getting habit. I mean, we're trying. We're doing our best in this absolute just. I'm trying to keep it clean.
Follow up a Paqueta, Ings for Kudus. I wouldn't take Kudus off because I think he has been the most dangerous player we've had. Just everything behind the front 3, really. Finally, a whistle I can get behind.
More, if you need to block someone, if you see someone who says they're a Chelsea fan. The thing about Chelsea, like modern day young Chelsea fans, they could just support someone else if they want, because they have no affiliation to Chelsea. They just like the fact that other Chelsea fans are really into men's fashion. And then if they're really into like men's fashion and hairdos and stuff, they're like, okay, Chelsea's the club for me. But you could just, Robin, Ward Prowse. Just a lot of moans now.
Just on, sorry, one above that. Woody, no, Gonzo comes on after. So stick around after this. We will head off pretty much straight at the full-time whistle. And then
you do read Gio as Gonzo there, so
sorry, Gio. Gonzo's at the game, sorry.
Dehydrated, get some fluids in you. So all the people have joined. The question of how is that not penalty? So now we have more people who already heard me say this. I apologise, and I just apologise for the general quality of West Ham United Football Club by proxy. To everyone who's just joined us, the thing that we need to talk about now is the fleeting hand. So the VAR said that wasn't a penalty for Somerville because, yes, he grabbed his arm. Yes, Somerville was through and goal. But the grab itself, which they confirmed was a grab, was a fleeting, to do Joey Tribbiani air quotes, was a fleeting hand. So now in the game of football, the Premier League have stated in writing, black and white, which makes it fully legal, defenders can operate this new move now of the fleeting hand. So the game of football today, 21st of September 2024, has shifted in reality with new rule that applies to grassroots, Sunday League, whatever. It's the fleeting hand. It's just, you see the Somerville, he's through, just fleeting hand. And if anyone's bored of me saying fleeting hand, then look away for the next 45 minutes. Graham asks, where's Charlie? Charlie's making my tea. He's just getting me a lovely cuppa. And I think he'll probably be back in about 5 or 10 minutes. William Buckley here says, the fans need to have patience. Billy Buckley and his mad ideas of patience. I'm being facetious here, Billy. I'm not really disagreeing with you per se, but it's obvious the manager has a plan and he's trying to implement it aggressively from the sidelines. If he'd have had a plan against Chelsea's main way of scoring goals, which is to play through Nicholas Jackson, then he wouldn't have put our central defensive midfielder, Alvarez, marking Jackson and the centre-backs nowhere near that situation. That's how Chelsea are going to try and score goals. So you don't just put your midfielder on him and then say, right, Alvarez has got him covered. Alvarez, very good player overall, apart from that moment, is actually having a good game. Not the fastest in the world. Kilman seems to be fast enough, or just double up both of your centre-backs on Jackson as well as Alvarez if you feel like it. But don't set the team up so this can happen to put us under.
Yeah, absolutely. Worrying that Lopetegui is struggling to set up correctly from the outset. Yeah, I mean, he's got the lineup. So you got the lineup that we all wanted, pretty much, apart from Mavropanos, as I said at the beginning. But yeah, not gelling at the moment.
Jeff says, in the future, I will be careful what I wish for. I mean, the funny thing is, Lopetegui is still better than Moyes. Like, if that conversation comes up with any other football team, oh, maybe you should have Moyes. No. Do you want Moyes at your football club? No, you don't. He had to go. Fair enough. But if you had to rank it in percentages, you'd say that Lopetegui is probably 5% better than Moyes, in that he seems to have made subs. He actually started the okay lineup, apart from Mavropanos, which his list of mistakes now are into over 5. Like in the last 9 months, Mavropanos is +5 in serious defensive errors when you have this Jean-Claire Todibo, who we haven't seen but played for France under 21s and we've spent money on. So maybe play him.
I don't think we've been that bad to soft goals. I think the first 20 minutes was awful. And then, I think it was a much more even game. But, just defenders going wandering. It's killing us at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, Jordan says time for Todibo. Again, it's not us fans just moaning. Like the patience thing, again, there are those who say be patient. I just feel like the ones who say be patient, if they see this in the first, if every game the other team scores first, then like in the way the club is, if you've got Tim Steidman getting the players in and you need a head coach who can make the right calls and get the best of the players, last game out, the right calls not being Antonio and Souček, the right calls now not being Mavropanos, not being to get the central midfield Alvarez to mark Jackson. If he's not making those right calls, the only reason why you don't get rid of the manager is financial, because you just think, oh, well, that was a bit of a bad decision, so I need to stick with it now, so let's give him time. Mm-hmm. So even if you try and look at like get rid of him as a knee-jerk reaction, if you take away the assumption that it's a knee-jerk reaction and think there's actually some analysis that's gone into it, it kind of becomes fair. Because some of these decisions, like what we're seeing, is not confusing. It's not like we can't quite figure out what's going right.
Yeah.
I mean, just watching the replay of that Jackson goal, Alvarez was at some distance from him. I'm not blaming Alvarez because his strength isn't that. You watch Mavropanos cover that goal, and he's kind of in like no man's land because he's not doing anything at that point. He's not marking anyone. So his thought process can't be that Alvarez will get there, because that was just never going to happen with the first goal. So his thought process is then, am I marking someone who Jackson's going to cross to? No, he wasn't. So he has to be absolutely at full pace, just killing himself to get to Jackson to help out Alvarez at that point. And he's not. And then for the pass through, Kilman was the closest central defender to him, and Kilman's been okay at times. He's clearly got a lot of good qualities, but how, as a central defender, do you remove yourself that far away from their one goal threat?
Yeah, I think at the beginning they were split, and Zach says, Zach still thinks we're in the game. Imagine if we'd had that pen, it's a different game. Although Lewis said we can't rely on penalties every week to get us back into games, so it is worrying so far. We've still not solved that goal threat. I'm still not convinced Fulkrug is the answer as well. And Bowen is off form, so that's a big problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's because you just put yourselves in that situation, and then our quality players have to rush. I think Owen's in a minority, not disagreeing with you. Paqueta's been fine, some good play from him. Won't say he's been great, not terrible.
I like that one. Yeah, he is slow.
Yeah, and then Frank Alvarez plays from too slow. Yeah, that's my point. But then that's why you don't put him. You don't put your midfielder on the attacker when they're going to be trying to play that situation. People who play in that position of the pitch aren't pacey, generally speaking. Even just thinking of the most obvious ones in that position. I mean, Rodri isn't fast. Rice can be fast when he gets up to pace, but he's not the quickest, because when you're in that position, that's not your job to be just, like a fast turn of pace.
Substitutes then. So would you swap anyone at half time?
I mean, get Mavropanos off. We had a comment here. Christian says, X said Todibo isn't fit. I mean, if he's not injured, what's wrong with him? And can he now do like?
He's had a month to get fit at least. So on the bench, we've got Creswell, Soler, Soufal, Antonio, Ings, Todibo, and Irving. I don't think Irving's ever going to play for us, to be honest. But any one of those you bring on? I think you mentioned Soler earlier.
I'm not against Paqueta. However, if he's the one who still can, unless there's a fleeting hand yanking down Somerville. Paqueta still can play the ball over the top two. Somerville, Bowen, Kudus. He can do that. But time is a factor here. We don't have another 2 hours for him to do that. Either he's going to get hold of the game. Otherwise, you've got to bring on Ings because you're 2 down. I wouldn't bother bringing Antonio on because they're playing what Gio is happy to call a low block. They're just playing defensively and sitting back. So what would Antonio do in that position? He's not going to get possession and do anything with it. Ings might be the one to actually be in the right place, turn and shoot. So yeah, the question is, if the one thing Lopetegui can do is apparently change games, he needs to tell Paqueta, look, that's fine. You're Brazil's number 10. We all know you're good. We all know you can do little tricks and things and this and that. This is not the next 45 minutes for that. You're gonna have to pull something out of the bag and prove your worth at this point.
Dylan's harping back to the good old days when he used to be able to do that.
Yeah.
That was a pen, says Lewis. Others saying not though.
I mean, it was by the rules of Premier League football. Bench, Paqueta comes up again. Yeah, if we weren't 2-0 down, there'd be no, saying like the obvious, but those goals, if they'd been dealt with in a defensive position, fine, keep Paqueta on, let him do his thing. We're not playing that badly. It's just a little bit of nonsense. Paul here says, "Don't see where 3 goals are coming from." I don't think we're not far off it. We absolutely should have had a penalty by the basic rules of the game. Once the people in VAR admit that there was a pullback. Apart from that, there's been moments. There's the Kudus was offside. There's been a couple of through balls that were close but didn't work out. We've had the opportunity for crosses and corners. So the opportunities are there. So you can just pray. Obviously it's a next goal situation. Like, do you get 3-0 down or do you come back 2-1 and shift the momentum?
Brian saying that we're being exposed down the right-hand side as we were against Fulham. Same thing. So, yeah, Wan-Bissaka, that's just not clicking at the moment. Really good start, but the last couple of games been iffy.
Yeah. I'll leave you with the comments. I need to go and in the dark room and cry to myself for a few minutes. So I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Just seen a stat there on screen that Jackson's had 24 touches, which is a hell of a lot for one half. So, yeah, trying to have 24 touches means we're not getting close. We're not getting close enough, or we're not marking enough. So, big problems there. Just looking as the players are running out, can't see any substitutes made as yet. I think it's going to be the same lineup. Yeah, right. MJZ Right says, last season it's a penalty. Yeah, I know it was harsher last season. It's always the way in it when they're against you, you don't want them harsh, but that's football. If it's at Stamford Bridge, it is given as a penalty. Yeah, it's a ridiculous one. It's going to be talked about after. Again, VAR, it's ridiculous. Rodriguez must be fuming. We need more creativity. I think Rodriguez did take a knock, from what we understand. So that was more of an injury decision. Dino scores me also. Will we be bringing on Danny Ings? Ariola was awful. When he was nutmegged, but that happens. He's not a commanding goalkeeper for me anyway. He's not commanding enough. He's so quiet. You never hear. I never hear Areola screaming and shouting. I do like my keepers to be incredibly vocal. They should be bossing that defence, helping them out anyway. I didn't see this, CM. I'm not sure if WHUCHE did pass to one of our own players as yet. Maybe we should put a bit of a player cam. I'll focus on that a bit. But he did have a shot. Not an amazing shot, but he's had a shot. So definitely something we need a bit more on. Bang on penalty. And Wan-Bissaka looks disinterested. I think he's just all over the shop at the moment. I think he's getting up and down. Well, he's getting up. He's just not getting down. Mavropanos and Areola are both trash. The game has kicked off. So it's 2-0 to Chelsea. And we need a much better performance in the second half. We need some shots. But it's Kudos down the wing, plays the ball forward, easily cut out by Cucurella. Not the best pass. West Ham won the ball back. Kudos with it, cuts inside. Paqueta on the ball now, looking up. Plays it to Alvarez, back to Paqueta. Moves it forward, not really much else. Oh, Kudos just tried to cut inside there to get a shot off, but couldn't. Chelsea clear it away. Well, now the break. 2v2. Now 2v3. We've got no left back. Oh, and it's 3-0. 3-0. Cole Palmer. Counter-attack. Too easy. I don't know what our defensive midfielders are doing. I don't think we've got defensive midfielders. It's ridiculous. But that was another crap.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
The
Fantastic.
second half starts like the first half.
Absolutely.
I think West Ham fans are already leaving.
Great.
Paqueta there, I think, lost that ball, but they just hit us on the break. Bombed it forward, which Alvarez for me.
Don't tell me that was Mavro fucking Panos again.
I just don't think they're tracking back. It's too easy. Areola can't save anything.
Yep, that was indeed my good friend Dinos. I have absolutely no fucking clue how to defend Mavropanos, who, again, like the Man City third goal, decided he would launch himself forward and on the basis of hope.
But that's gone in near post as well, so Areola's got to have questions there.
Yeah, I mean, all that Lopetegui really has to do is probably put just in training, put Todibo and Mavropanos side by side and have a race, and whoever is slightly quicker, they get to start the football game. Because Mavropanos doesn't know how to defend. He missed some lessons in defender training. Alvarez will definitely get a yellow card for that.
Someone said, careful what you wish for. West Ham fans are the ones to blame. I'll argue with that because, yes, we wanted Moyes out, but not everyone wanted Lopetegui in. I don't think he was first choice for anybody. I don't think you'd have asked any West Ham fan, who do you want in? And they'd have gone, oh, let's get Julian Lopetegui. I know it's still early, but...
Yeah, and whoever said that, West Ham fans are like... what does that mean? Either you're a West Ham fan and you still wanted Moyes to stay, or you're a fan of another club and you want David Moyes. That little flick of fur is my dog going mental because she's obviously annoyed with the football game. Oh, where is she? What the fuck she's doing? I'm in the way. There she is.
Alvarez should be off for that. I mean, yeah, defensive midfield. I'm not seeing any help. They're not breaking up play. I'm just not seeing them doing anything. It's so depressing.
Yeah, I mean, just to bring up a topic of conversation, because this game of football is clearly shit. Douglas says this unsafe enough in the 80s. In the 80s, I mean, I wouldn't know. My first game, I went about 89, 90. So I don't know, but I would say at Upton Park, we were also shit. Sporadically. So, we had some...
Because we didn't spend 200 million to get there.
Yeah. If anyone wonders what's growling in the background, then is it my dog? Is it Gio locked in his cage, getting pissed off at this game? Should another 4 seems 20 contract on Wally. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with change. There's nothing wrong with saying to David Moyes at that point, "Thank you for everything, but this is unwatchable." There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the football team wanting a new manager. It happens at the time. Like, it only doesn't happen at City, Liverpool until he got tired. Arsenal until if they're not winning, they'll get rid of Arteta. It's just what happens. Getting a new manager. I don't really know why anyone who's not in West Ham says apparently we can't change the manager. It's not really a problem to change the manager, but time-wise, I mean, we should put like a vote up, not directly after this game, but in the coming weeks. Either the channel should either on the YouTube or the Hammers Chat Instagram or something could put. Bowen has a shot, doesn't he? There needs to be a poll. Maybe it should be like a midweek poll, which does sound a bit like a Polish man that you invite around your house on Wednesday. But if there should be a midweek poll that, where do you stand? It's not an emotional, it's not like a knee-jerk thing. If people at this point, I don't really know where I stand at this point, but if people at this point are saying, "Dear Lopetegui, you are not quite the football manager for me," I don't agree. I don't know if I agree with them, but I definitely don't disagree with them, if that makes sense. Because you also like the players, is it the players, is it the manager? There becomes a number of games where you just wonder why the manager thinks that Mavropanos, who, we got Mavropanos because he didn't make it at another club. He was at, I don't know if we actually got him from Arsenal or if he went from Arsenal to somewhere else and then we got him, I think. He clearly didn't make it where he was. That was kind of why we got him. We thought, well, he's got some, attributes. Anyway, Antonio and Soler are coming on, so not Ings, which if you were Danny Ings at this point and you were fit, you would be mightily pissed off that you basically got a point for us in the last game. And then the manager has now gone with Antonio in a game where we're not playing it through for Antonio to run onto. So if you were Danny Ings, you'd basically be well within your rights to be solidly pissed off at this point in your life. Paqueta goes through, tries to do too much. I mean, I don't blame Paqueta for trying to do too much at that point because a chance was maybe there. But he did too much. Okay, so let's get to the comments for a period of time. Got Mavs understudy. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, like an indication of our poor planning, but we have signed Jean-Claire Todibo, who was the bright light of French international football in the under-21s, and then looked to be doing well, but then made a move that didn't work for him. So
I don't know what's happening. What has Danny Ings done? What did he do?
I don't know if you heard, but yeah, you'd be pissed off if you were Danny Ings.
Jesus. I feel so sorry for him.
Yeah, Somerville's gone off, which 53 minutes in, that reeks of desperation because Somerville was still promising. Unless he's injured, we've got a knock again. Obviously, we can't hear the commentary. So if there's a reason that anyone knows Somerville's gone off, otherwise that is a desperate move to just make a change. Oh, God. Areola almost put himself in trouble there, but got out of it. Yeah, why is Somerville off? Why? It's a fair question. Like a lot of I just really feel that as a fan base, a lot of our questions about the manager are actually fair at this point. I don't think we're knee-jerking it. It's just basic. It's just some basic things that just rack up. The first half against Palace, okay, well, we lucked out of that one. The first half against Fulham, why has he done that? Okay, we lucked out of that one. Man City game, well, that's Man City, so it is hard to make that count. They only lose like 3 games a year. Now here we are. Mavropanos is just impartially speaking, not a very good central defender.
He's not Soucek, but in defence. Just can't play. Frank's actually at the stadium, saying people are livid at the head coach.
I mean, it's nonsense, really. Like, I really, really try not to do knee-jerk reactions, but like where I am now is that like there's no emotion. There's no reason why at this point you're not in the just fuck it position. It sounds a bit weird, but like why just get a new manager in? It doesn't really matter who it is, because the one we have in, it has not ticked new manager boxes that very much need to be ticked. You get a new manager bounce. The new manager knows who the best players are. The new manager has seen that Mavropanos does things like give away a goal on more than one occasion this calendar year.
Well, I thought Lopo was quite good with youth. Everyone told me he's quite a good youth player. So you think actually maybe he's brought in to give some of their younger players a bit of a run out, because obviously, FA Cup doing well.
I mean, this comment, like, fair enough, Pete, but I just don't see that. People know how good Kudus is. No one in football could say that he's not. Kudus could play for City or anyone around the world. Bowen was wanted by Liverpool. Bowen could play for any top club, I believe, and his goals last year backed that up. 16 goals, 66 in the Premier League. Somerville was clearly a good player. Championship player of the year last year. Had a good game today. Taken off after 53 minutes. Clearly a good player. Paqueta is picked as Brazil's number 10. Alvarez, he is a good player. You might say, well, his pace today, but he shouldn't have been in that position. Kilman's good. Wan-Bissaka's good. Emerson's good. Like, it's just basic setup issues.
Good on paper doesn't equal good, though. That's the only problem. So
that's why it's that head coach. The opportunity he's been given, give him time, fair enough. He's already had a couple of months and he's set us up strangely. And he's put Mavropanos in the starting lineup. So, I mean, patience is like running out at this point, time-wise. Like, how many more months do you give him to not make stupid decisions?
Yeah, it does seem all a bit strange.
Like putting Antonio on.
Yeah.
Ings is on the bench. In this type of game, where now with a comfortable lead, Chelsea are going to be defending.
On the plus side, if I was Danny Ings sat on the bench and you 3-0 down and then he brings you on, like, why bother? So I'd probably just keep him on the bench for this one. He's shocking. I mean, he's not going to come back and score 3-4 to win this. Oh, so annoying.
We're still attacking. We're still trying to make things. We're still trying to create things. Their goals against us, just nonsense. You can't let 3 goals in that are that easy. Like in the first half. I mean, the second goal, really. Why is that happening?
Yeah. So where are we? We are currently.
I think Gonzo will probably look at his phone. He might be glad for a distraction. I'm just going to text him, seeing as Gonzo's at the game.
Well, the plus side, the lowest we can drop is 18. So we wouldn't be in the bottom 3. That's clutching at straws for positivity.
Anyway, I'll message him. God knows if he'll get it. Try and get some words from the terrace at this point. Most people are still there at 60 minutes. I don't know if I went to this game. I don't know if I would have the patience. If I had a choice of definitely getting an early train back or watching another 30 minutes of this and then going in the queue for another train, I would probably find it quite hard to sit still at this point on Saturday afternoon and not just get the earlier train.
Yeah, it did show some people leaving after the 3rd goal went in. So there's definitely some off. I was unfortunately at the game when Arsenal spanked us 5-0, 6-0, kind of lost count because I was with an Arsenal fan. So it was a torrid afternoon and that was just absolutely empty. Could this be a repeat?
Yeah, I mean, the South Stand is still... Like, we are attacking. We are putting effort in. I'm absolutely going to just go... Like, right or wrong, I'm just going to blame Mavropanos for the third goal because he did the same thing for City's third in that he ran out to try and get it. And if you don't do that, then this is what happens.
Yeah, that's Father Hammer saying, get him minutes now. I mean, this is the perfect game. We're not going to win it. Get him on the pitch. If he's not fit, get him up to match fitness. Yeah,
Ben says Chelsea letting us have the ball until we just... I mean, if you're Chelsea at this point, you've got to be quite confident you'll just get a fourth because all you really need to do is run through. And our central defenders are just parting. Oh. Anna says, how do you fix this? I mean, it's beyond... It's beyond. Gonzo says, we're ridiculously slow with obvious weak points in defence. Lopetegui's substitution of Somerville was booed. Fair enough. So Somerville wasn't... I mean, that is just desperation. Somerville was doing everything right at that point. Yeah. What is the point of just going Somerville for Antonio? What do you gain?
You lose pace.
Yeah, I mean, Pete's looking on the bright side. Shit show's over for 2:30. We can just get on with the rest of our day. I mean, yeah, Sporting Lisbon manager and Duran, easy to say, I know, but Ross says we're going down with Everton. We'll still win some games this year. That's the only positive thing I can say, is that if we finish, after starting like this, if we finish top 10, then you just take top 10 and you just move on. The team. Yeah, you're 3-0 down at this point. So if you are the manager and you are 3-0 down, you basically do have another free hit substitution. So you know what, Guilherme, go for it. And hang on, a load of comments coming in trying to get to the Marxists. Did they take away the concession to spare the youngsters from this? It's probably a good point. Chelsea attack again. 3 of them are against 2. They're taking it forwards and they shoot, saved by Areola. That would have been disgusting.
But it's too easy. Breaks are just too easy.
Yeah, Dave says never recovered from losing Rice. We've got the players in. The players we've got in aren't that bad. Justin says the final third we look good. The first third we are pathetic.
Do you know what's really weird when I look at that chance there that Chelsea have? Like my son he's under 13s. And like even then the coach says always have 2 on the halfway line when it's a corner. We don't. Like all our centre backs, we only have 1, but they've always got 2 running at us. It's ridiculous. We're not quick at the back.
Creamy Baileys. Sounds a bit like filth. But hearing other fans say that Jado isn't the best when it comes to man management, some of the players aren't happy. Like some of the morale in the team, it doesn't seem too bad. It's just we're not starting our best lineup.
Well, probably only apart from Tadibo, I think we are starting the best lineup.
Yeah.
Anyone else there you'd put in?
No, I mean lineup wise, it's just whether like the wrong instructions being given to the defense. So if you say to the defense, this is like how I want you to set up, and the fullbacks are free to go, and the central defenders need to like go wider to get possession or whatever. I don't know. That's basically happened when the opposition have the ball. So we're just saying, you know what, on a massive pitch, and your striker, who is not good but is fast, has just like a free motorway through on goal, then that's not how the game of football works, because I don't know if Lopetegui is just too confident and arrogant and egotistical, which is not me like ranting like a nonsense fan, but something is wrong with him that he just doesn't value keeping a clean sheet. And he just thinks, well, you do this and you do that. And no one said, but Julian, like, that might mean the other team can score a goal very easily.
Yeah. The coffee.
All right, I'm going to go through the comments. I'm very annoyed. So, £85 to watch this shit. Kids for £1 against Ipswich. I mean, if we beat Ipswich, I will say, yay, we beat Ipswich. But there are some underlying issues. Mark says not fan of Emerson losing the ball and jogging back. Yeah, I mean, he can do this. Brian getting exposed time and time again. Simon says, thanks, Madueke saved her from 4. I mean, that would be just pathetic. Mancunian Hammer, utterly shameful and embarrassing. Shamrock Dan didn't want him. 12 games. Like I was saying, I mean, like the 12 games or this games or the more time is very much voice of reason situation. But you need to see something. When you get a new manager, you need to have some element of positivity, or to be like, you need to see something. Okay, that's his thing. You see something from the players, because with the players that, like the Paqueta situation, you have someone of proven quality who is picked as the starting star for Brazil. You have him on the pitch, so. In an ideal world, it would be like, yes, he can do this, he can do that. Oh, God, Chelsea attack again. They're around the 18-yard box. We have 5 players defending. Wan-Bissaka's just done them the favour of joining them, but that was and Paqueta was back defending there.
It was terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's the job. Like, you could say players should do this and should do that, but, you can't expect just people to be technically gifted and have the mentality that you want them to have. It's the manager's job. It's the manager's job to do that. Ben says embarrassing. Ionic says defense is a complete car crash. Another Ben says Lockett Wolves insulted our squad and players rather than it's his fault when we lost games.
Chris is like, no defense. Where are the tactics? Yeah, we're not seeing the tactics. I don't quite understand. I mean, we all know. Before this game kicks off, Chelsea, they rely on pace, movement. That's what Chelsea are about. That's, we're just static. We're not following them around. We're not seeming to mark. Obviously, the first goal didn't organise the defence. It's just mental.
Yeah, 67 minutes. We rather need a goal. Emerson gives away a corner. Sacked by Christmas. I mean, he's going to have to do a lot to not get sacked.
Yeah,
at this point,
I think that's probably. Yeah, I mean, like again, when we were saying this, like, how many games did you give a new manager? He's got to be like 8 to 10. But we've had one. I mean, we've had one win, and we played. I'll come back to it. Chelsea, Villa, City, not easy games to win. So if we'd have had an easier run, so you've got to kind of do it on balance. If we're losing against the Ipswiches and teams like that, then that's when there's a problem.
Yeah, I mean, Kyrgios, I think Chelsea will. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I don't think they haven't clicked. They haven't got 3 goals in this game through anything other than our defence just offering them that option and saying, you know what, would you like to run through on goal? And they'd be like, yeah, fine, we'll do it. We'll run through, no problem. That's why the tactics. You just think, well, I'm a modern manager, so I'll play a high line. Well, you've got Mavropanos in your starting lineup, and he's not quick. So why would you do that? Okay, the opposition base their attack on pace. Okay, well, I'm going to make Alvarez mark Nicholas Jackson. Why would you do that?
Yeah.
So, like, it's just basics. It's not like we haven't been outplayed. That's for sure. And when I say we haven't been like out-tacticked, Maresca hasn't had to think up anything clever to get 3 goals against us. I mean, I like this comment a lot because I was thinking Cole Palmer's hair looks a bit weird, but I haven't quite hit the nail on the head. Dead Fallout Channel absolutely nails it there. Medieval peasant hair. Yeah. I mean, like, if you were watching like Game of Thrones and they had like an extra who was like a lowly monk whose job was to serve like the pitcher of water and then scurry away. That's what Cole Palmer looks like. on a visual basis. Oops, sorry.
Yeah. Just a quick one on that. Roma have already got rid of their manager. They've known it's not working straight away. True.
Okay, Chelsea attack. I'm sorry to say, but Chelsea are attacking. And it's a corner.
Again, it's another counter, isn't it?
Oh, Mavropanos tackled someone. Fantastic. Wonderful. Karam Zaid or something says, what is wrong with that offence? Because Mavropanos is slow and he's been told to play high up the pitch. Mavropanos looks like he got back and he made a tackle there, but he looked in a severe amount of pain to get there. Shamrock down, has he lost the dressing room? I mean, he's going to. Like, even if Bowen does his best, and even if people are talking and saying, all right, come on, lads, we played well, let's focus on the positives. Inside the mind of the football players, they're going to be thinking, why substitute Somerville? Why bring on Antonio? As Kudus just is wiped out by Cucurella, absolutely wiped out. Referee will give a yellow only, but just because of the positioning on the pitch. If they had introduced orange cards, that would be an orange card. Lisa could give Moyes a coaching job. I mean, we did lose by 6 and 5 and 5. So he played Zuma when.
Vince has said it's not that Chelsea is so good, it's that we are so poor in defence. Yes, I think we are poor in defence. Chelsea have been the better team. I think they have been the better team. I think you can't argue with that. I think Kudus is the only one that just keeps trying. He's the one that's keep running. He's got the energy. And Somerville as well, who's gone off. But everyone else...
Andy Irving's coming on to save the day. So 71 minutes in, Cresswell's coming on. So...
No, Tadibo. What's going on with Tadibo? This is weird.
Andy Irving. So you throw... I mean, like, it's like the Ings coming on against Fulham. That's not a game plan. That's someone who doesn't know what he's doing.
This is all about minutes now. I mean, he's not going to win this.
I was on Karen Brady, and I didn't, I maintained professionalism there. I didn't say anything. I didn't apply any adjectives. I just stated the fact that the camera was looking at Karen Brady at that point. And then the camera looked at Sullivan. I'll just say what happened, and I will not give you my thoughts on either of those two people. But thoughts must be going through the head of, we've paid for this manager and he keeps not putting good players on the pitch, and his decisions are questionable.
Yeah. I just don't know why Tadebo's not on. If we need to give him minutes. If he's fit enough to be on the bench, he should be fit enough to play. Like, you could give him 20 minutes because he's going to be the one that should come on. It's weird. I find it odd.
Yeah, and you're 3-0 down. Why would you do left back for left back? What are you going to do? Try and get 3-1 and close the game out? You've already taken Somerville off the pitch instead of doing something else at that point. If you're going to make a change and you're 3-0 down, take Emerson off, put Antonio on, leave Somerville on the pitch, because your defence is clearly a massive pile of shit. So just forget them. You've got to try and score goals at this point. Chelsea through on goal again. Amounts to nothing.
Father Hammer agreeing. Creswell getting minutes ahead of Tadibo. What's going on? I'm at a loss.
Or Danny Ings, Forest Gate lad, Red Bull, perhaps get a Red Bull manager in. At this point, anyone. It's not a knee-jerk reaction, and it's not even silly to say he's had enough time. Like, if that happened, I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be like, oh no, they've got rid of Lopetegui after 2 months. So I wish he'd have had more time. I wouldn't have said that. I would have said, you know what? There's a lot of people out there in world football. Give them a go. Employ someone on a 6-month contract, and if it doesn't work, get someone else on a 6-month contract. Like, if you're picking managers who aren't doing better than what has been done. It's not like, oh, he hasn't won every game 2-0 and 3-0, so as a football fan, I can't stand this. It's not that. It's that what are the positives? Should have been another goal. Chelsea should have got one. Areola saved that. What are the positives of Lopetegui? And if anyone who tries to bring David Moyes into this question is being nonsensical, because clubs changing football managers is very normal. It happens.
How did he not score that header? Actually,
yeah, that is Dave absolutely hits the nail on the head with that one. Yelling at people on the sidelines is fair enough for the cameras and to make people think, oh, you're not happy with what they've done. But the setup was wrong, because you play a high line, and someone else said in the comment, which I didn't pick, I can't remember who it was at this point. It might have been Jeff, it might have been Mark, that it reminds them of Chelsea-Tottenham when Postecoglou, not going to call him Ange, Postecoglou set them up wrong. And Chelsea have fast, young, quick players who, by the laws of averages, are going to be quicker than your defenders, unless you've got Van Dijk or someone.
Chelsea not doing much to get in on goal. They're not. It is all too easy. Brian, totally agree with you.
We all can see the same amount of goals last season. Possibly. Robin, long season. Brian, too easy. Dan, given up. A lot of fans going, and I absolutely don't blame them. It's not like stay around, stick around. It's Saturday. They've got like lives and like trains to catch. And
yeah. What was only positive is his name rhymes with floppy. Fair enough.
Yeah, the J-Lo. And that's the thing. Like, I just think I'll be interested to see what Gio has to say after this game, because he again tries to, which he has to do. Like, when you're a creator or you've got a channel, you've got to try to be as calm and impartial, if you like, as you can, to try and analyze things, because no one's going to watch the channel of, relentless nonsense. Why keep Lopetegui at this point? Unless you think he's got something he needs to work on. I just don't have the patience with people who make stupid decisions. So, like, in theory, you could say with the squad that we've got, if he started the right players, maybe he realizes now Mavropanos is not Premier League quality. Maybe he starts to debo, so give him time with that lineup. I don't really have the patience. Like, if people are stupid, like a lot of people are stupid on planet Earth, right? So you have to try and be patient. Like, when you see someone if you're driving on the road, you're seeing someone doing something stupid, you've got to just like think, I'm not going to beat them or flash them. I'll give them a moment. If someone who's like below the age of 18 does something stupid, you're like, fair enough. So you try and make allowances for people.
Not when they're on that money. Yeah.
He made choices which are not good, like against Fulham. And he's done it again today. He's played with a high line. He's played Mavropanos, and he hasn't reminded, like, I don't know if Mavropanos, maybe he's just a bit thick. I don't blame thick people. A lot of people are thick. But if Mavropanos is thick, he hasn't reminded him that he's slow. So he's just said, Mavropanos, on the pitch, like, do this, do that. So as the player, fair enough. He's like, okay, coach, I'll do that. No. If you know you're not very quick, if you know you're not as fast as Nicholas Jackson, you think, you know what, fuck what the coach has told me. I'm going to I'm going to do it like a classic slow man's defensive thing and be like, I'll just give myself 10 or 15 yards. And if they pass it through, I'm going to just go hell for leather. So I just think, I wondered, like months ago, about Mavropanos. Just when you see him, his facial expression doesn't give much away. So I thought, in the game, meanwhile, like Bowen is doing all he can. He's absolutely busting a gut. Bowen's busting a gut. Kuda's busting a gut. Somerville busting a gut. I don't have a problem with any of the players, really, apart from Mavropanos, who, like, based on his facial expression, I wondered if he was like, he had like deep brooding thoughts. But I now think that he doesn't have thoughts in his head. And I'm not criticizing him. It's like, people in the world have different IQ levels and intelligence levels. But I just think his happens to be quite low. And when he sees the ball, he hurls himself towards it and doesn't get it. And he doesn't know that Nicholas Jackson is very fast. Like, that hasn't clicked. And again, we're attacking. All we do is attack. We attack.
There's no end product, though, is there?
Well, yeah, because we're 3-0 down. So Chelsea are like, you know what? We've got 6 or 7 bodies in the box. We've got everyone back. You know, they're going to have to, even when you see like really good teams against really crap teams, the really good teams that find it hard to get past 10 people in the box. Like, you know, City are basically one of the few teams on planet Earth that can crack that kind of situation. And then obviously, yeah, like Real Madrid, whatever, they can do it. But Chelsea have decent players and a lovely 3-0 lead. So they can just think, we'll just sit back all the time. And they're going to have to do something absolutely out of this world to score, which is now the situation.
Jeff says, in years to come, we'll call him Floppategi.
Very, very difficult to disagree with that
Years?
summary. I just think, yeah, this is like a part of our lives that we're not going to relish looking back on.
I don't know, how long did it take Emery to settle at Villa?
Yeah, but Emery was proven beyond belief at that point. Everyone, like, people are questioning us getting rid of Moyes. People questioned Arsenal getting rid of Emery to a degree, but by that point he was just proven. Like, everyone knew what he brought to the table, and he wasn't even doing badly with Arsenal at that point. There's a good comment here. Well, the thing is, Jeff says the Liverpool game, by the laws of football, I think we might win the Liverpool game, because if we're just shit for the next 3 games, they'll probably get rid of Lopetegui. If we have one game in the next 3 games, that's their excuse to be like, oh, you see, we didn't make the wrong decision as manager. Because it's an ego thing, right? People aren't going to make decisions. And I think Sullivan, his character is not a mystery to anyone. You can see why he makes the decisions he does and how long it takes him to then, you know, change those things. So they're not, it would be a miracle. If anything, I hope I'm wrong, just for a bit of fun. If they say, thanks, Lopetegui, but no, I can't believe they'll do it. But if they did, I'd be like, fair enough, let's see what happens next. But yeah, ego-wise, they're not going to want to admit that they made a bad decision. They're all going to be, well, give him time, and we've got the players in, and we've spent the money. So look, we're actually like very good.
We're on 82 minutes, and there's been a mass exodus. So it's probably stadium half full by now, I'd imagine. What we're seeing at the edges, but a lot of people have had enough. We can't do that, unfortunately, can we?
Very understandable. Richard, who said that we were a top 6 team this year, we might be when we get in and other manager. Could have switched with Antonio. Yes, Antonio shouldn't really be on the pitch. Won't read that, but that is there. Won't read this one. That is there. So that's quite good. I think Chippy's joined in. Chippy's basically been ruminating on that pun for a while, and I think he's just joined us. Give him time. We're going down. I think that's that point.
Yeah, Alvarez at right back, high line, no press, terrible tactics.
I haven't even seen that. Like, I haven't seen the defensive midfielder mark the attacker. I think the only defensive midfielder in world football who could do that would be Kante at his best, because he was just everywhere. I haven't seen a game of football that instantly springs to mind where a quick striker is marked by the defensive midfielder, because why the holy hell would you do that?
Charlie says that the sooner Souček leaves, the better, because it will stop managers consistently picking him. I don't think Souček's to blame for this one. To be fair, I haven't seen him on the ball, but then I haven't seen really anyone apart from Kudos and Somerville, and maybe Bowen on the ball.
Yeah, I mean, we've been playing well. Like, obviously when Chelsea have such a comfortable lead, then they sit back. But it's not just that. Our players have been doing okay, but it's fucking ridiculous to give the opposition goals. And that's the concerning thing, that Lopetegui doesn't know the opposition can score in ways that hasn't got on his mind.
Yeah, I think there's as Dan says there. It's just a massive disconnect between defence and midfield. It's just, yeah, I can't see no chemistry that I can see at all. West Ham. I mean, West Ham are pressing, but it's always just too late. Like, what is the point? I know you've got to do it, but like, you know, can you not just be better from the start? It's so frustrating.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, we're attacking all the time. They've got 8 players in the box all the time. Yeah, DC. If Jackson scores 2 goals against you, I think those little white mints is pulling out absolute dad jokes at this time. 4 goals in 6 minutes. Why not? We'll be lucky to stay up. We'll win games. We will win games. We've got the players to win games. Either we need a new coach, or the players have to take matters into their own hands and say that if Mavropanos is on the pitch, we need to constantly remind him to stop running toward the ball from a centre-back position. It doesn't work. That's what they want you to do.
He's a journeyman coach, Spanish, and that is it. Did nothing here in Porto. Yeah, it's not. He hasn't. Only Sevilla done well, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Mark says the lift spirits thing. That's the thing. Like, we want to see something. So boring. You could try and bring it up. We're having the same conversations we did on the Moyes. Yeah, I mean, Lopetegui's still. I don't think he's as bad as Moyes, funnily enough. I just think he's far off. Like what we saw with Moyes, that we were so far off it. 6-0, 5-0, 5-0, and the many other things that Moyes did. We weren't wrong to change your manager.
It's just different. It's dog shit versus cat shit at the moment.
Yeah, don't watch here. Mavropanos Portuguese and President, all 3 goals. Completely agree. Kilman was close. Mavropanos just doesn't have, and I'm being nice by saying he doesn't have a footballing brain, because I could frame it very differently. But Mavropanos doesn't quite get at a high level of mental acuity the game of football.
And your guy says, where's Lindsay when you need a 94th minute screamer? Yeah, but we need 4. So I don't know, that's really going to work.
I'm just going to make this next comment all about me trying to get like 2 more. If I can get like 2 more Instagram. If I can get 2 more Instagram followers out of today, that will be the mood lifter I need to. Not that it will be particularly interesting, but I will make some videos ranting about how generally miffed I am. My dog's being a dick. About how generally miffed I am, and that I just don't accept. Like, I'm trying to fight against being Lopetegui out.
Yeah.
Like, if you do the like personal internal dialogue, I'm trying to say, don't just say manager out 2 months in, but the other voice in my head is saying, why? Like, give me something, give me like a debate, give me an argument on both sides. And the other voice has nothing. I have absolutely no, if anyone can say, oh, here's a good question. Yes, my OnlyFans. Why not? Why not? I think if anyone,
your pants as well.
I think if anyone in the chat at this point was offered a tenner, if someone approached them and said, I'll PayPal you a tenner to watch you rummage around with your ghoulies, you're not going to go, no, are you? Go, that's £10. I'm gonna let my dog out because she's being ridiculous.
And I'll leave everybody on that thought, yeah? Is Soufal a better option for a back 3?
Fair question, no. I mean, if there's something wrong with Todibo, like, we need a reason why Todibo hasn't played, and unfit just doesn't cut it. Because you're a central defender and you're a professional athlete for life. How fit, how like 100% would you have to be better than Mavropanos.
Yeah, and the game's gone. So give him some minutes, but he hasn't. There's no point bringing him on now. But he's got no minutes.
I mean, that second goal. You might say that to complain at a manager, be not happy with a manager, to want a manager to leave the football club, you might think that logically you need this reason, like you need to write like a 500-word article about all of your clever and intense analysis about why you want to get rid of him. But that second goal is enough. Oh, you can't, and then, what, you want to get rid of your manager because you let a goal in? Sounds stupid. If the goals are going in against you that easily, then the qualities you want in a manager are not there. You don't recognize the players that you have. You haven't seen what Mavropanos has done in the last 12 months. Something's wrong. There's an issue there. And if you're that ignorant to the issues, you're not going to, at the age of 50, whatever, I don't know how old Lopetegui is, but you're not going to suddenly clue on and go, oh, you know what? Here are some reasons why Mavropanos didn't make it at his previous football clubs, and I've just realised what they are. The third goal against City didn't teach me anything. The Fulham goal, in which Mavropanos stopped running and hoped it was offside, didn't teach me anything. So you know what? Against Chelsea, who are very, very quick, it's just sensationally annoying to be emotionally affected by someone else's stupidity. And I'm not accepting what I'm seeing today.
What you think about as well, the points we have picked up, very lucky to get anything out of the Fulham game. Went amazing in the Palace game as well, really. So
I'm just very pissed off. I'm just very annoyed. Oxby says rather watch my nan do knitting whilst on assist. Yeah, I mean, I don't partake of Class A drugs because the world is confusing enough to me as it is. I mean, you'd wonder what the results are. And I'm not encouraging that situation. I just want to say, if anyone has done that, let us know.
On the plus side, Monkey and Ham, I don't think we can fall into the bottom three. But we can end today on the 18th, I think. So
yes, that is the bottom.
17, sorry. For maths. Quick maths.
Flakester says Lopetegui out. Jeff says don't do Instagram over 50. Do you do OnlyFans, Jeff? Download it. If you've got a spare £5 and you want to see something disgusting, let me know. Can't say the manager after just 5 games.
Okay, we've got a minute left of this game. So in the last minute,
Pants.
I'm going to pose a question. What would you pay a tenner to see Nick do on OnlyFans? Let's end it on a high.
Bearing in mind that I will do it. Floppy Loppy out. Even the dog in the background is crying. Your manager is terrible as Man City fan. Chelsea aren't good. How Chelsea scored. Yeah. John, I will accept that comment if you were born before the year 1999. Not being ageist, but just saying, if you're a real City fan, then fair enough. Comeback ins, flop out. Can see us losing to Brentford. Wouldn't put it past Brentford are a decent team. Teams will be licking their lips. Lonely fans, I like that. Shambolic. Even the dog's pissed. We are elephant shit at the moment.
Parked on cue as well.
Bring the dog back. If you want, she's gone outside.
I'm not sure on that. AWB is the best player. We're going to wind up.
A lot of our players have been very good. Like not even good. Very good. Kudus, Somerville, Bowen's been good. Irving hasn't done anything wrong, but they're up against it.
Did he touch the ball?
Like small. That's full time. Our manager. I don't know what Gio's going to say. Sorry, I couldn't get through all the comments there. There were a ton of them. Lopetegui just walks off, which is just bullshit. He doesn't even go and clap and get abused because he knows he's going to get abused. Lopetegui goes straight down the tunnel If you wanted more fuel on the fire of Lopetegui out, I think that was it. I'm interested to see, is Gio fuming at the Mavropanos situation? For me, my final word before I go and eat some food is that Lopetegui doesn't seem to realize that there's another side of what is happening in the environment of being a football manager. He doesn't seem to realize there's another football team that you're playing against. He doesn't seem to realize that the other manager has tactics. He doesn't seem to realize that if you just make stupid decisions and can't coach Mavropanos to do basic things, bad things will happen. And he doesn't seem to realize the value of goals. Like, he doesn't seem to realize the value of the other team scoring a goal. And it's just small things. It's small things where you try not to be knee-jerk, but I have basically had enough of giving a shit, of giving people time. I don't want to give people time with the squad that we have. I want them to make correct decisions. Northie, your final miffed thought, please.
My final thought was that was shit. But do stick around to hear what Gio thinks, who's going to be up next. And regarding your match bingo, hopefully someone in the chat has won some money, but use the link in the description below to get your match bingo sign up, because there are plenty of games to come after hours, which hopefully might be a bit more entertaining. And on that note, we will see you on the next watch along. If I can find the banner. There you go.